Magnificent afternoon. Temperature in the 70s here in Dover, Delaware, and the fans are on hand for the start of the NASCAR Busch Series race. It's NASCAR racing from Dover Downs, the Monster Mile, coming up next. Hi, everybody. I'm Eli Gold. Welcome to TNN Motorsports and live coverage from Dover Downs International Speedway in Delaware. It's already been a great season for the NASCAR Busch Series. 7 different winners already have gone to victory lane, but it's consistency that's paying off for David Green. David Green may have only a win at Hickory thus far, but his consistency has given him the edge, making him the man to chase in the point race.
David Green has been clawing his way towards a second Busch Series crown. Today, he will start 6th in the Caterpillar car. David, had a little practice under the heat here. How's the car? Can you win today?
Well, the car is good, Randy. Caterpillar Chevrolet, just like always, good race car. But, you know, Goodyear's done a great job with the tire, but the track is so abrasive. Again, we're going to have to see how the tires go. But we're going to be there in the end, hopefully, toward the top, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, David Green certainly one to beat here today, and he hopes he can hold off the guy that's second place in points, Randy LaJoie. He stands just 107 behind. He's got to win this year as well. He did it a couple of weeks ago at Nazareth.
Randy LaJoie has made all the right moves in his ascent to second in Busch Series points, including that move right to victory lane at Nazareth, Pennsylvania. He starts 16th today.
And Randy LaJoie has been chipping away at David Green's points lead. In the last 3 races, he's had a 3rd, a 1st, and a 5th. Randy, you got a lot of momentum coming into here.
We sure do. I wish we would have had the momentum qualifying. We didn't do ourselves any favor, but we got a really good race car, and I'm looking forward to a good day.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching him take this thing up to the front. This racetrack fits his aggressive style. He loves it here. Now, let's go back up top to Eli, Buddy, and our aged but well-preserved veteran, Darrell Waltrip.
Buddy Baker, 11 first-time Busch Series winners here at Dover Downs. Is this or is this not a tough racetrack?
Darrell said it a while ago, what you don't know won't hurt you. This racetrack will bite you. When you come up here and you hadn't been here many times, you make mistakes, but people watch out for you. After you've run here a while, I think you get yourself in trouble by thinking they're going to give you a break. So you have a lot of first-time winners here. Like Darrell said, what you don't know don't hurt you.
The Indy cars ran here years ago. Bobby Unser went around this track at 155 miles an hour. You don't have a turbocharged Offenhauser under the hood, Darrell Waltrip, but the speeds are up there with Unser's numbers.
Eli, just think about this. A pro stock car runs a quarter mile in 7 seconds. These cars are going around a 1-mile racetrack with 4 turns in 24 seconds. Winston Cup cars are about a second quicker. So, I mean, it's just incredible grip. This concrete and the tires that Goodyear brought here this week, it's just incredible grip. You run the corners wide open. You never slow down. It's a tough race, and I like management's decision. They said, everybody complains about these races are too long here. We'll just speed the cars up a little.
Take us about an hour and 58 minutes to go the 200 laps. Hope you can stay with us. As soon as we come back, a look at the starting lineup. It's the Goodwrench Delco 200 from Dover Downs International Speedway coming up next on TNN.
A car engine has as little as 1/1000th of an inch of motor oil protecting its parts. But friction and heat can make motor oil become volatile and vaporize, weakening its ability to protect vital parts. Texaco Haviland Formula 3 is formulated to control volatility, fight vaporization, and provide complete engine protection, no matter what you drive.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
To get the most out of this Indy car, Patrick Racing put Scott Pruitt behind the wheel. They built a team that could get it in and out of the pits in the blink of an eye. And they chose a battery they can depend on to get it started. The Duralast battery from AutoZone. The same Duralast you can depend on to start your car. So don't settle for anything less. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
protect your engine, remember, Pure Oil now, Pure Oil later.
Pure later.
In the Stanley Laboratories, we find out just how good our decorative mirror doors are by opening and closing them over 100,000 times. Funny, isn't that the same way you do it? Decorative mirror doors from Stanley.
There's more soap residue in your clothes than you think. So you'd better call Rain Soft.
Today's exclusive coverage of the GM Goodwrench Delco Battery 200 on TNN is brought to you by Avalon Formula 3 Motor Oil, controls volatility and fights vaporization. And by the more than 1,300 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts.
It's a 42-car starting field here at Dover today. 41 of those machines have already rolled off the pit lane. One is not yet gone. Kenny Wallace has a problem, Glenn.
Well, and the problem is right here, Eli. This big puddle of oil, when Kenny moved his car forward, they were just getting ready to pull out on the line. He pulled forward, and whoa, that was a big spot of oil. They pulled Kenny over. He is in the pit stall right now. Fortunately, his own pit stall's right down here trying to find out where that oil leak is. We'll go down there and get word. They've got about 4 guys in and under and around the car. We'll find out what the problem is. I do think they will get him out there, though, but bad break for Kenny early.
Now, Kenny Wallace is in the race, but he is going to have to start at the rear of the field once he does come out onto the racetrack. Taking a look at the starting lineup for you. In the first man to qualify yesterday, Bobby Labonte got the quick lap and made it stand up. Terry Labonte and Ricky Craven sharing row number 2. The third row, Kenny Wallace has Jack Roushpower and the point leader David Green. Old Dick Trickle, he's on quite a run. He'll start second here tomorrow, and Mike Wallace sharing the 4th row. Further back, Larry Pearson and Jeff Green. Hutch Strickland and the man who's been so hot in Winston Cup racing, Dale Jarrett, also won the pole at Charlotte for the Busch Series machines. Jeff Fuller and Hermie Sadler. Hermie's doing double duty this weekend. Kevin LePage and Randy LaJoy, who won here back in 1984 in a NASCAR North race. Dennis Setzer and Stevie Reeves. Jeff Purvis appearing for only his 3rd time here, and a 3-time Dover winner, that is Todd Bodine. Row number 11, Chuck Bound, driving his brother Jim Bound's machine. Steve Grissom in the 12th row. It's not been a great weekend for him. He's not going to be rehired for next year. And Ed Spencer, the 3rd, he is withdrawn. He wrecked his car in the late practice run here yesterday. Further back, Phil Parsons, Patty Moise, Chad Little, who joins us on our telecast here tomorrow from Dover Downs, and Holt, Michigan's Tim Fedowa. Rodney Combs, Randy Porter, Danny Edwards, he's a late model stock car driver from at Langley Speedway in Hampton, and the man who started on the pole at the Indy 500. There you have Bobby Dotter, and another late model stock car driver, Kevin Simmons alongside him, Curtis Markham and Tommy Houston in row number 18. Glenn Allen in from ASA Racing. Mike Dillon had problems in practice and qualifying yesterday, and Doug Hevron. And there is Buckshot Jones bringing up the rear along with Ron Barfield in the Ford, fielded out of the Elliott Hardy Racing Shops. Now the AutoZone race analysis brought to you by the more than 1,300 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts, as the field is 1 lap away from going green. $314,000 on the line, and this is a certified 1-mile racetrack, so 200 laps, 200 miles. Darrell Waltrip, though, you've been out on this racetrack all weekend getting set for tomorrow's Miller 500. Among everything else, the track narrows up on you 10 feet coming off the corner, and that makes it far more difficult also.
Well, that's why we see so much action off of turn 2 and off of turn 4. If you're down on the inside and you get your car pushing a little bit, it wants to head right out to the outside wall. And if somebody sticks their nose in under you while all this is going on, it has a tendency to turn you around. So a lot of action off of 2 and 4.
A number of in-car cameras coming your way today. Dick Trickle starting in the 7th spot. As we mentioned, he'll be on the front row come tomorrow for the Miller 500. He's got a roof cam as well. You see him right behind Terry Labonte and alongside Ricky Craven. We'll keep an eye on Dick Trickle, a veteran from Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. Chad Little has an onboard set of cameras for us today. So we'll be giving you some panoramic views. There you see the overhead bridge now that was put in here last year to aid the fans going from the inside to the outside of the racetrack. Mike McLaughlin carrying some onboard cameras for us today. The Royal Oak Racing Team, they've had some good runs here at Dover Downs International Speedway. We just saw down the pit lane an unscheduled quick trip down for the Bobby Dotter team car. You mentioned Bobby's driving for Ken Schrader. Kevin Simmons is driving the Ford that Bobby Dotter normally campaigns. And we are set to go racing here with the first of 200 laps here. Dale Jarrett also carrying some of the onboard cameras for us here today. So we're set to go. Let's see, the starts here so very pivotal at this racetrack.
Well, they really are. Getting down in this first turn sometimes can be real treacherous, two abreast here, you know.
Darrell, this is really a one-lane racetrack. As they start off, you can see everybody trying to get in that lower lane. It's about a half a second difference when you're up in the second lane there. There's not much traction.
No, there isn't. And they swept the track off before the race started, but the tires have been shedding a lot of rubber up on the outside of the racetrack, making that outside group mighty, mighty tough.
Everybody's made it through the first couple of corners as the lead comes to the stripe. Terry Labonte, fifth BGN race that he has led here. Bobby Labonte, the very first qualifier, I believe I said Terry, Bobby Labonte, the very first qualifier here yesterday in qualifying runs that took place at 2:15 in the afternoon. Riding with Mike McLaughlin now. He's in third in the 34, followed by Dick Trickle in the 64. This racetrack, if you've never been, banked 24 degrees in the corners. The straightaways 16 degrees, and the straights are 1,076 feet long. Though I don't know if anybody who drives this place wants to believe that.
I'll tell you one thing, as fast as we're going right now, it seems like you have no straightaway. You're just out of one turn right into the other. The track is incredibly fast. The tire combination they have here this week is making the cars really fast. A lot of grip through the turns, and you literally, as we said in the opening, run the thing wide open through the corner.
Dick Trickle now with the move inside the 34 of McLaughlin. There's Trickle moving up into the 6th spot. Ricky Craven in the 2 following him right through. Dick Trickle, you might remember, is a former pole sitter here at Dover Downs International. It's something how certain guys just take to certain racetracks. Buddy, the way you ran here, for instance, 11 top 5s, or you ran at Talladega, Daytona so well. Certain guys just do so well at certain tracks.
This is more of a Cale Yarborough type racetrack where you have to have a neck about a half-inch long and just be able to bury it down there and be tough all day. Dick Trickle is a very tough guy, and this racetrack is suited for him.
Yeah, you're right about Cale. One of the few guys I ever knew could shrug his shoulders and cover his ears up. Just kidding, Cale.
Yeah, you know, he will be here tomorrow.
Yeah, I know that. There now Phil Parsons and Randy LaJoy scramble together as they work themselves towards the front. LaJoy fresh off a win at Nazareth, Pennsylvania a couple of weeks ago, and as we mentioned, he won here in the old NASCAR North Series in 1984. McLaughlin and David Green now, the 34 and the 95 respectively. They're running 12th and 13th.
What you try to do, Eli, is you try to get a run off the corner. You'll see the 95 ducking, trying to get that nose underneath here, just like he did. And then you hopefully hold your own down the straightaway so you've got the line going into the corner. That's where guys get into trouble, but that's the proper way to pass.
And it worked right there. Mike Wallace in the 90 tried to sneak through on the low side as well, but couldn't quite make it go.
But when you run into problems is when the guy that you're trying to pass doesn't realize you're there. Maybe the spotter doesn't tell him, or he just doesn't give you enough room and you touch him.
Bobby Labonte still leads as he has from the get-go. We are now 7 of 200 laps complete if you're just joining us. On the move now is Jeff Green, the 3 machine. You see him having caught up with McLaughlin and Mike Wallace. Jeff Green tested here at Dover a few weeks ago. And he's another guy who drives the track well. Last year started 40th, finished 15th, so he likes the track, but he said this is the first time that we tested here. And Glenn, it made a lot of sense for those guys. It's obviously paying off here early.
Absolutely, Eli. In fact, I talked with Jeff yesterday after qualifying. He said, Glenn, we've got a better car than what I qualified with. He fully expected to be in the top 2 or 3. I think once he clears this traffic that he's in now, he'll be able to make a move on the leaders very, very quick early on.
9 laps complete. That is Jeff Green. Meanwhile, up front, the brothers Labonte in a two-car tangle. That is Bobby leading the way, Terry right behind him. Holding down the third spot now, you have the veteran, Dick Trickle. He's right there. Jeff Green is on the move, and so too a host of others. A good start here at Dover Downs. We're coming right back.
I'm the King Grill.
Oh, yeah?
Baby, you know who's boss. Give me a 2-inch thick T-bone with spicy, hanging, Heinz 57 steak sauce.
Yeah, you're cooking now.
Let's eat.
Maybe it's because their frames are welded instead of bolted. Or because their decks are stamped from a single piece of steel. Or maybe it's the fact that they have the highest resale value in the industry.
Oh, hey, I always wanted one of these. Thanks.
But the truth is, when people are asked what kind of lawn tractor they'd like as a gift,
Happy birthday, Dad.
most say the same thing.
Enter the Performance Zone with Split-Fire Performance V spark plugs.
You hit your passing gear, you're gone.
Experts say Split-Fire Performance V spark plugs mean more horsepower and better mileage.
The difference in gas mileage has been fantastic.
Enter the Performance Zone only with Split-Fire Performance Vs, guaranteed. And now get triple platinum performance for the life of your car. New Split-Fire 3 spark plugs.
At Citgo, when you team up our super premium gasoline with our Super Guard motor oil, you'll get all the high performance and reliability you demand. So, prepare yourself to be totally blown away. Super premium performance. Citgo says go.
I'm the King Grill.
Oh, yeah?
Baby, you know who's boss. Give me a 2-inch thick T-bone with spicy, hanging, Heinz 57 steak sauce.
Yeah, you're cooking now.
Let's eat.
Back with you at Dover Downs International Speedway, and as you clearly see, under caution, L.W. Miller drives that number 21 machine, and the problems took place coming out of turn number 2. Let's take a look at what happened, Darrell.
Well, I'd been watching him a little bit earlier, and he had been racing with the 75 car, and the 75 car had just gotten by him, and they'd have a little, they didn't have contact, but you can see that his car was way on the outside, and he got into the fence really hard.
Darrell, he almost looked like maybe the right front might have been flat because that car went straight up and hit the outside wall there. So,
yeah, there's a possibility, but he'd been running that high line, and it's still dirty if you get up there, you know, much past the black groove on the racetrack. I think something looked like it could have happened to the race car, though. I agree with you there.
Speaking of black spots on the racetrack, top of your screen, folks, you see that black stripe that is painted along the bottom of the retaining wall? Because of the white track and the white wall, some of the drivers said they were having trouble seeing where one started and one began. So where there's no advertising, there's that big old wide black stripe all the way around the racetrack. Darrell, does it help you, or is that where you say, oh goodness, when you hit that area?
Yeah, well, I didn't even realize it was there myself. But I tell you one thing that makes it difficult for this racetrack is it doesn't have any lines on it. There's no lanes. In other words, to tell you that you're on the inside lane, the guy's on the outside lane, it's kind of something that you have to perceive. And personally, I like a racetrack that has lines on it. It can help you set your car up. It can help your crew identify your problems sometime because of the way your car moves past, you know, up and down the racetrack. So I wish they had lines on the racetrack. But that black deal around the bottom of the wall, I just thought it was tar that they'd put up there. So I didn't know it was the FTC.
If you joined us along the way, Kenny Wallace had to drop to the back. He's now running in 30th. Remember, he had an oil problem there on the car. Glenn, what's the story on the Red Dog machine?
Eli, Gil Martin, the crew chief, told me simply that they thought they just got it too full of oil, and it was sitting there, the heat out here on pit road stuff. It was just a little bit of oil. I'm not going to say bubbled over, but as I said, it was too full. It just seeped over, leaked down on the track. They couldn't find the leak anywhere. Checked all the lines, all the fittings, the oil cap. We got a report one time the NASCAR thought the oil cap was off, but that's not a problem. He's not smoking. The biggest problem they had was he had to stay in the pits, had to go to the rear of the field. Had a great 5th place starting position, went all the way to the rear. As you said, already moved up to 30th. Looks like he's doing real good right now on the racetrack, but still a lot of ground to cover. That's something you don't want to have happen this early in the race, because as Darrell Waltrip will tell you, the more of these guys you can put behind you at the start, the better off you are.
Well, it's true, Glenn, but the point here is, you say, how did the oil run out of the oil tank or bubble out of the oil tank? We put the what we call cookers in the oil tank, and they actually heat the oil up before the race starts, and they get up to 300 degrees sometimes, and the oil literally will almost bubble in the tank because we like good hot oil when we fire that engine up. So it could, in fact, have enough heat in the tank that it did bubble the oil up out of the tank through the breather.
Let's take a look at the top 20 for you so you'll know how your favorite is running as we continue into the first caution. There you see the top 10. Hut Strickland rounding out that group of 10 with a preponderance of Chevrolets showing the way. And there you see the next group. We're coming right back. Stay with us.
Suddenly, there's Sunshine. Clean, shine, and protect your whole car in just minutes. Just spray and wipe, and wow, suddenly, windows are clean, water repellent, and streak-free. Suddenly, chrome sparkles, trim glistens, wheels shine. Suddenly, you're done. Now clean and shiny is fast and easy with Sunshine Auto Polish Treatment.
You can just pick up a Napa part and feel the quality. When you look at the price, it feels even better.
Pick up your share of quality products at Napa's Red, White, and Blue sale. With Napa Motor Oil, only 89 cents a quart. Contoured-style bug shields for a low $29.99. And a combo pack of no-touch tire and wheel cleaners, just $2.99 after rebate. So come, save some green at Napa's Red, White, and Blue sale.
America running.
Today's exclusive coverage of the GM Goodwrench Delco Battery 200 on TNN is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. At Napa, we keep America running.
A great overhead view of the Monster Mile. All these pictures brought to you by Duralube and our aerial camera. If you've never seen this racetrack, the NASCAR Super Speedway obviously is that big white oval on the outside. The smaller grayish oval on the inside, that is a horse track. This is still home to part of the Delmarva Peninsula horse racing circuit. Dover Downs runs harness races here throughout the course of much of the year. So this is very much a dual motorsports and horsepower kind of facility. You ran here, didn't you, Darrell? I remember years ago, you were in a sulky one night with Bobby and Cale, and who else was in there?
And Richard and David and myself, and we all raced each other, and I don't remember how we did, but it was quite thrilling, I can tell you that.
Eli, I remember that. I was just a little boy, and I was just outside of turn 4 over there watching them ride.
You were too old to drive. Even then, you were too old. They wouldn't let you ride the thing because they're afraid you'd fall off.
Okay.
Thank you.
This is a tough, it's a tough crowd today.
Thank you,
I got Glenn down there, and I got Buddy up here.
Meanwhile, we'll have open auditions for somebody's job here when the show is over, I believe.
Meanwhile, back at the races.
Right now, though, it's time for you to take a look at an innovation in motion brought to you by Peerless Faucet. Get more out of your faucet than just water.
Well, guys, one of the things that they're fighting here today and in the past few weeks, particularly in the Busch Series, has been heat. Now, the 9-to-1 engines put off more heat underneath the car than the 14-to-1s. Lower compression means not as much fuel burns in the combustion chamber. Therefore, the fuel continues to burn as it's pushed out the exhaust pipe. A lot of guys are having blistered feet. David Green, Kevin LePage, a lot of guys, Randy LaJoy. They have gone to these what they call booties. The actual name of this thing is the blister resistor. This simply fits whether they have the half type, the booty, or the full type here. This booty type fits right on the heel of your shoe. This is why I had to stop racing. It won't fit my big foot. But that keeps the heat from getting to the driver's foot. Kevin LePage burned through the sole of his foot. Also Curtis Markham, the accelerator burning him. So they use this whole thing, you see. It's got this heat-resistant material all the way around his foot to keep the bottom of their feet from getting hot and therefore burned. I'm telling you, I've had it happen. That hurts. You can get silver dollar-sized blisters on your foot just from the heat coming up through the floorboard. It's not comfortable.
Nice fashion statement there.
It really is, and I like his explanation. He did wear booties, as a matter of fact.
But you know, with the chrome helmet that you wear, those are kind of chromish looking shoes. Might be a nice little. You must always accessorize at the racetrack.
I already have those. I was the creator of those.
We hadn't talked about the other part that burns. The seat is made out of aluminum, and usually it's about an inch off the floor. And if you pour water on your back to cool your seat, it starts boiling, and you talk about quarter-size blisters and very uncomfortable.
Now, the things for your shoes are called booties.
Yeah,
Never mind. Never mind. Hey, here comes Dale Jarrett down pit road. Unscheduled stop for the Band-Aid team. John Irvin and the boys are ready. Randy, what's going on?
Well, he started 12th. He noticed a problem right off the bat. He said, my left front tire might be a little low on air pressure. They're going to go out to the right side right now. He thinks he also may have a right rear that was going flat. So, while they take this opportunity, they're going to go ahead and add a rubber to the right rear and adjust the track bar. They're going to pull the left front fender out a little bit and go ahead and change 4. That's the belief right now. But just a little precaution. If he didn't like the way it was handling, he thought he might have a problem, it's a good time to fix it.
Under caution today, you have 3 tires per position on the car. That's the rule in this afternoon's race for the NASCAR Busch Series. Continuing under caution, we're coming right back.
In South Dallas, a lot of folks like to work on their cars, and a lot of them come to AutoZone. They save money on top quality parts, and they find helpful people like Rocky Brown. Oh, sure, there are other parts stores in town, but Rocky's the kind of guy folks go out of their way to see. He's good at solving problems, and he really knows his parts. You see, when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Hold it, Harry. You know you can't use Duraloop fuel treatment in your Indy car. It's an unfair advantage.
I'm not allowed to use this product in my Indy car, but in my road car, I want the Duraloop advantage.
Duraloop is scientifically formulated to clean, condition, and protect your fuel system for a smoother running engine with more power and less harmful emissions. Duraloop fuel treatment, tomorrow's technology today.
It's country music's biggest night. Join host Martina McBride, Glory Morgan, and Sawyer Brown's Mark Miller. It's the 30th annual TNN Music City News Country Awards. Live June 10th, 8 Eastern, only on TNN.
It's the brand name blowout at Montgomery Ward. Hurry into Electric Avenue and get free $50 savings bonds when you buy select TVs and camcorders, including this 20-inch stereo TV for just $198. Get this Admiral 18.6 cubic foot refrigerator for just $549. Or get the 21 cubic foot for $599. And both come with free ice makers. There's free delivery with select laundry pairs. And after 0 interest on all premium mattress sets, like this opulent jewel queen set by Simmons for just $599. That's the brand name blowout, only at Montgomery Ward.
Snipes and Woody Harrelson's Say It Loud. I'm black and I'm proud. An unlikely pair of brothers.
I see the resemblance.
Most likely to stir up excitement on pay-per-view.
We're not going to rob the money train.
Why not? We're cops. Hang on for the ride of a lifetime.
We can't stop this thing even if we wanted to.
Non-stop pulse-pounding thrills come crashing home.
I'm getting excited.
Money Train. Your ticket to excitement on pay-per-view.
You by Gladiator and Universal Luxury Vans, the official vans of tracks, teams, and drivers throughout the NASCAR world. Call 1-800-445-2825 for a dealer near you.
We continue under caution here at Dover Downs International Speedway. L.W. Miller had a rather hard crash coming out of turn number 2. He's complaining of some shoulder pain, we are told now, from down at the Infield Care Center. And it's expected that they'll be taking him to the Kent General Hospital here in the Dover, Delaware area for just a quick once-over from the physicians there. They have opened up the crossover gate here at the start-finish line. There is no tunnel here at Dover Downs, as you will have at many racetracks. So ingress and egress for a vehicle is here at the main straightaway start-finish line where the retaining wall actually does swing open. The Labantes still running 1 and 2. Neither one has ever won a Busch Series race or a Winston Cup race here, but they've had a good number of seconds. And that's Glenn Allen Jr., very talented young driver, who is going to be the feature man in our Pep Boys profile right now. Pep Boys, remember them for quality parts, tires, and service.
Well, I started racing a stock car at Queen City Speedway, which is a half-mile facility in Cincinnati, Ohio, that my dad raced for 20-some-odd years, where he was track champion there, and just lucky that I had, family into it, where I got opportunity to do it at a young age and kind of grow with it from there. Back running short tracks and then going to the ASA circuit to come down and be a part of NASCAR is a big deal for us. So, yeah, I'm excited just to be here to get the opportunity to run against the drivers that are here in the Busch Series and hopefully move up to the Winston Cup Series.
So from the American Speed Association of the Busch Series, yes, it's a big jump. but it really hasn't bothered Glenn Allen Jr. In 8 of the 10 races run thus far this year, he's been the top finishing rookie, but he knew he'd have a lot to learn in 96 as well.
I knew I bit off more than I could chew starting it, but 6 in points right now here. I think the team should get a B+, the driver maybe a C+.
And that is our Pep Boys driver profile for this Saturday afternoon here at Dover Downs International Speedway in Delaware. I'm Eli Gold, Buddy Baker, Darrell Waltrip, Glenn Jarrett, Randy Pemberton bringing you this afternoon's coverage from the Monster Mile as we continue at this point under this first and only caution flag of the afternoon. It came out, we'll remind you again, at lap number 15 when L.W. Miller tagged the wall coming up in coming out of turn number 2. We'll give you a look-see at how your favorite drivers are running right now. We have a Napa update coming your way, and that'll keep you abreast of who's doing what. Mark Martin not in the field today. A lot of folks are talking about, you know, where's Mark today? He doesn't run every event. His sponsor, Winn-Dixie, selects a number of events where they have a concentration of stores. And, boy, he's been on a tear this year, hasn't he, DW?
I'm sure that the entire Busch Series is glad that Mark's not here this weekend. And that's no disrespect to Mark. He has a wonderful program with the Busch car, and he does a great job. I guess the next biggest fear of these guys ever, the Labonte brothers. They're glad there are not more of those.
Well, you know, it's interesting, though. Winston Cup regulars they won 13 of the first 16 Busch races here at Dover. But since then, Busch Series regulars have won 9 of the last 10, including 8 in a row, as you see the ambulance taking L.W. Miller to Kent General Hospital to have his shoulder checked out. So it really has swung here, Buddy, of late to Busch Series regulars who've started to get victories for whatever reason at this racetrack.
Well, Mark Martin won 4 times this year, and David Green won at Hickory, and Steve Grissom won at Daytona, of course, Bobby Labonte at Nashville, and then Terry Labonte in Atlanta, and Randy LaJoie, Jeff Purvis, so on and so on. So the Busch guys are not just rolling over and playing dead. They're playing very well, as a matter of fact.
They really are doing that. Let's take a look again, if you're just tuning in, at what happened to L.W. Miller a bit earlier. And again, car just never turns.
No, you know, it's hard to say. Buddy says it maybe had a tire down, possibly so, but the cars are that fast through the corner right now. He could have just got up in the loose stuff. I'm not sure. What do you think, Buddy?
Well, I was just looking at the replays. It could have been either one, but you could see a lot of dust as he entered into the outer part of the racetrack area. There's a lot of rubber dust up there, a lot of dust, period. And when he hit that, even if the tire wasn't flat, he was going to the wall.
All right. So everybody now waiting as we should get the 1-to-go signal this time by. Larry Pearson, by the way, is running middle of the field right now in the Stanley car. His crew chief celebrating a birthday. There's Ryan Pemberton. You talk about brothers on this circuit. They're enough Pembertons to shake stick at. Randy, have you bought your brother a nice gift for his birthday?
No, to tell you the truth, I haven't, Eli, but I was thinking about it. I asked him, I said, Ryan, what do you want for your birthday? He said, Stanley's a great sponsor, but tell him we need more money. We need more money. So, Ryan, all he wants to do is go to Victory Lane. I said, I can't help you with that one, but I'll give you a little plug for an extra cashola.
Maybe you need a pair of those silver booties or something.
I tell you, he needs to get Glenn to go down there and tell him how to do it, because he's driven race cars before, and he could be a real help to that team.
27 years old today. Not Glenn, Ryan Pemberton.
No, not Glenn. You can look at Glenn and tell 27 was a long time ago.
Well, with all of that mirth and merriment out of the way, single file restart is upon us here. We'll be going green in just about a half mile from now. That's a young man who has been here at Dover Downs for a number of years, an aspiring flagman. He stands right down in the front row of the grandstands, almost beneath Carl Simmons, who is the chief starter for the NASCAR Busch Series. Doesn't matter if it's practice, qualifying, that guy's here with his flags. And does a heck of one day we'll be talking about him on top of the flag stand, I'm sure. But here we go, getting set to go back to green. He's checking with Carl Simmons on the flag stand. There's Carl, and the greens are out. Here we go, back to racing. The brothers Labonte, Bobby Labonte, and Terry Labonte showing the way. Dale Jarrett, remember, made his pit stop before at a flat tire at the Band-Aid machine, starting on the restart near the tail end of the field.
You can see Steve Grissom was caught on the outside there. He seemed to be running along pretty good, Darrell, but now he's dropping back.
No, actually, he passed it. He had a great restart, buddy. When you caught him, I noticed you saw him passing cars, or it looked like he was being passed. He passed about 4 cars on that restart. He had a great restart.
You saw Jeff Green in the 3 make the move around the man with whom we're currently riding, Mike McLaughlin. They work the backstretch, lap number 28 of 200. There are your front 4. Bobby Labonte, Terry Labonte. Then a couple 3 car lanes back to, you see, McLaughlin, or at least Dick Trickle, I should say, Ricky Craven, then David Green. Field single file until you get way back to about 27th. Kenny Wallace out of line trying to pick up some folks.
They're black-flagging the 00 of Buckshot Jones right now for passing on the left on the restart there. That's a no-no.
Buckshot Jones in the 00. He's running 33rd. He'll come down pit road for a stop-and-go penalty. There's a good pack of traffic now from 10th on back. Hutch Strickland, the 28, Dennis Setzer, the 38, Randy LaJoy in the 74. They work off turn number 2 down the back straightaway.
Boy, Dale Jarrett's really, he put those 4 tires on, and he's checking right on out. He has to. He's at the rear of the field, but he is really making some time right now.
That's Hutch Strickland in the 28 there, and Jeff Fuller in the 47. You see them side by side as they start into turn 1. I tell you what, he don't want to get out there for very long. As you can see, Jeff Fuller pulled him about a car length up off turn 2.
Hutch Strickland likes this racetrack. Last year in Winston Cup racing in the Quaker State car, he had a good 4th place finish, you might remember.
Yeah, and he qualified very well for tomorrow's race, too. So, yeah, he gets around here good.
Good battle for 2nd place heating up now as well as Bobby Labonte tries to show the way, but Terry Labonte has the 5 car with Trickle in the 64 right behind him, Ricky Craven in the 2.
And the Green brothers are closing in on the Labonte brothers, so we could have a real brother show here in a little bit.
We could. Case of brotherly show.
Yeah. You know, they don't cut any. That's one thing about the brothers that race. None of them cut each other any slack. They all just work on you just as hard if they didn't know you.
Larry Pearson found himself getting out of the groove in turn number 2 as you see cars going by him, and now he'll get down to the low side of the racetrack. But he had to woe it down coming off the corner and nearly found himself in trouble.
You see Steve Grissom there trying to get under Pearson before they get down to turn 1. It looks like he might have the preferred line to the corner on the bottom there. He does make the pass pretty easy.
His car is really handling well. It's not that fast on the straightaway, buddy, but he is getting through the turn.
That's now 12th where Pearson is in the 92, and you're right, he's just going straight back. It's more than having just gotten out of the groove there a bit ago. He's being bypassed by Jeff Purvis. Here comes the 88 machine. That's Kevin LePage. The Channel Lock colors, that powder blue car, that's Phil Parsons, all going around Larry Pearson.
There's no worse feeling than to get hung on the outside. Like, I know you
got another one inside.
Get down, but he can't. There's just no gap. Now, there's a gap, and he's off so much momentum he can't fall into that slot. He'll just keep passing.
We're riding with Chad Little there. He's the 23 car. You see that car get sideways as he started in the corner there. He's wanting that bottom lane bad.
Dick Trickle just stopped. His engine, I think, let go or something. He's on down on the apron, and he's out of the race.
Heartbreaker for Dick Trickle. He was running, as you showed you moments ago, battling for 2nd and 3rd spot. But here comes the Duralube car. He's already on the back straightaway. 37 laps on the board.
Eli, I'm not sure he's going to make it all the way around. He's running very slow as he enters into turn 3. He may have enough momentum to get back around here, but it's going to... Yeah, he looks like he's still moving just a little bit there. He should make pit road.
Dick Trickle ran here back in the days when USAC, the United States Auto Club, had some stock car races here, back when this track was first around in the late 60s, early 70s.
He's an amazing man.
Isn't he, though?
He drives out here today, 200 miles, comes back out here, runs 500 miles tomorrow, and he gets out and gets himself a cigarette and a cup of coffee and heads on back up to Wisconsin. He does a little ice fishing. He's tough. He reminds me of that guy that was in that grumpy old Ben.
Glenn, he's in on pit road. What's the story?
They've got a water pump belt coming off, Eli. When the car passed me on the racetrack, I saw water coming out the overflow tank out the right rear of it. So it looked like they've definitely got a heating problem. When he came by here, there was no water at all. So I imagine the thing's probably good. Let's go on down to Randy now. I think he's in right here.
Yeah,
goes, but these guys, they put the hood down. It looks like Trickle could be done for the day. Tough race for these guys.
Meanwhile, Steve Grissom, who started 23rd, he's now running 10th. As you look at Chad Little working through the corner, he's in the 23 machine. Dale Jarrett is now back up to 28th position after making his pit stop earlier and having to start at the back of the field. 40 laps complete. The 95, David Green. Jeff Green, his brother, is in the 3. They're running 4th and 5th right now. Ricky Craven, the 2 car, just ahead of them. He is in 3rd. And the brothers Labonte still showing the way. Bobby ahead of Terry. But you're looking at 3rd, 4th, and 5th now here at the Monster Mile, Dover, Delaware. We'll be on the air tomorrow at noon. The NASCAR Winston Cup teams will be here for the Miller 500 on TNN Motorsports. Hope you can join us for that tomorrow. Up front, no change in the running order. The brothers Labonte pulling away, and right now they've got themselves 2 1/4 seconds of an advantage on the 3rd place man, Ricky Craven.
Goodyear AquaTread revolutionized wet traction design. Now Goodyear introduces the first tire with a lifetime tread life warranty. The new all-season Infinitread. Its tread is guaranteed for as long as you own your car. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
Right now, get a $40 introductory manufacturer's rebate from Goodyear when you buy 4 Infinitread radials, Goodyear's longest-wearing passenger tire. That's $40 on 4 Goodyear Infinitreads. But hurry, this Goodyear offer ends soon.
If you're trying to keep cool with Central Air over 10 years old, you must have money to blow. Thought so. A new Luxair high-performance Central Air or heat pump system could reduce your energy cost and save you money.
Cool by Luxair.
Dependable, affordable comfort comes from Luxair.
Can we come inside? We're cool. Mom.
Call your Luxair dealer and catch the NASCAR 99 Luxair Chevy in all the Busch Grand National Series races.
Leave it to Peerless Faucet to create a shower so smart, it can not only sense when a toilet has been flushed, it can also adjust the water temperature accordingly. Scald Guard technology by Peerless. Get more out of your faucet than just water.
Oh, well, I'm the kind of life that helps to get you going. When you're on your own out on the road, it's such a comfort knowing you got the Snake Light from Black & Decker. I get around, I'm the Snake Light.
Hey, you're a guy, and guys want to stay cool. How do you do it? With new Speed Stick Gel, proven to keep you drier than any other gel. It's the best gel protection. New Speed Stick Gel, just for the guys.
Look at that damage.
Where'd I go wrong?
You should have waterproofed. New improved Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofer has more power for more protection. Long-lasting protection. Don't wait till it's too late. Thompson's is protection.
Welcome back, everybody, as we hitch a ride with Dale Jarrett and the Band-Aid team. 47 laps in. He didn't have an easy time a few laps ago at Tim Fedewa.
Well, you see him right there. He gets in the back of Fedewa. It looked like Fedewa may have twitched just a little bit. They made a little contact, but no harm.
No, and there's a whole lot of cars lined up behind them, too, that had to react to that because it looked like it's going to get ugly there for a second.
While you were away, Tommy Houston making a pit stop at lap number 46 while you look at the ongoing battle between Ricky Craven, David Green, and Jeff Green. They're running 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Randy LaJoy, having worked himself up now, he's in the 74 right behind them. He's top here, and he's got renewed enthusiasm after the win at Nazareth a couple of weekends ago. Even played a good round of golf here the other day. He's not ready.
Eli, I tell you, we're at 50 laps here in the race. I believe the tires are starting to really go away on some of these cars because they are making some cars are handling pretty badly right now. They're slipping and sliding all over the place.
Talking in the garage area today, the guys were saying anywhere from 45 to 65 laps. That's the range I was hearing from crew chiefs. It's a good tire that Goodyear brought, and it doesn't really drop off much. But when it goes, it goes.
Yeah, it's wearing fast. The raciness of the track, and of course, whatever they say they can run, you can add 20 laps to it. That's usually about what you can add to it. If they say 50, you can go 70. If they say 70, you can go 90. Because we don't race as hard as we practice.
50 laps on the board. Mike Dillon in the 72 machine being bypassed. He's gone a lap down here. And nearly a close call right there through the corner. Trying to find an opening. The 51, Chuck Bound. taking over his brother's car, Jim Bound. Normally of late it's been with that Barbasol sponsorship of Blue Machine, but an accident in practice yesterday, they brought out that backup, and Chuck had a close call up there in the corner.
Eli, something else that'll happen to you when you get out of the groove. You get that rubber buildup on your tires, and you think you've got a flat tire sometime, even though you don't. It responds the same way. You get that buildup on the tires. Now we got to fight for people getting in the pit right now.
A couple of guys come down pit road. You see the 72, that's Dillon, the 51, the yellow car in the foreground. That is Chuck Bound, and they about bumped coming down toward the entrance of the pit lane.
Well, there's another car that was involved in that, and he had to go around because there wasn't enough room.
These stops at lap number 53, and a significant chassis adjustment you see for Chuck Bound right now. Bobby Labonte still the leader up front. Steve Grissom in the 29, now running in 9th spot. Just ahead of him, the 38, that's Dennis Setzer having a good run. Good to see for that team.
Jeff Green just got by his brother, David. David moved up to let Jeff go by, and when he did, Randy LaJoy and Mike Wallace both went with him. So he tried to help his brother out, and it cost him a couple of spots.
Nice guys in this case, run 7.
Yeah, Glenn could respond to that, I think.
You're not going to let up on him, are you?
Well, we were talking about nice guys, you know, and I thought maybe he would like to respond to that.
There's Dennis Setzer in the 38, Steve Grissom. He ain't getting me in the middle of that one, Steve Grissom in the 29, right behind Mike McLaughlin in the 34. They are running 7th, 8th, and 9th right now. Herbie Sadler closing in also. You've got Jeff Fuller there in the Sunoco colors. Inside of McLaughlin. There goes Jeff Purvis in that David Lee Murphy car. There goes Hutch Strickland. Something's got to be amiss there with McLaughlin, don't you think?
I think right now what you're seeing is the tires are giving up, like Darrell said, and they're starting to move around. This is a give-and-take racetrack, and once you get on the outside, you lose 8 or 10 positions with no problem whatsoever. You see McLaughlin fell behind this bunch of cars, and now he's back in the groove and picking speed back up.
And Dale Jarrett is closing. He has closed really up on this lead pack. I'm really impressed with the way he's come from the back and closing down on the lead pack right now.
But it's still 1.5 seconds for those cars, the 44 and the 5. Bobby Labonte and Terry have a 2.5 on 3rd place, but they're trying to get by the 63, the Lysol colors. That's Curtis Markham at the wheel there. Second to go, a good battle that we were talking about between Setzer and Grissom, and look at that battle there on the backstretch.
That's not a battle, that's a little contact as they started down through there. You could see Grissom get in the back of Setzer just enough to turn him, and you can see he got the spot.
What happened there was, I believe Setzer was trying to move down to let him go to the outside. They both kind of went the same way and almost had well, as you said, had contact there. They did have contact.
There you have Craven, Jeff Green, 2-3. Still trying to get around Curtis Markham. They are. 74, LaJoy closing in from the rear flank.
Well, Jeff Green's really flying right now. He caught Rick Craven from about 15 car lengths and run right up on his back bumper in just a few laps there. So Jeff Green's tires are better than Craven right at the moment.
That's some of that testing, buddy. That's what you learn when you test. You learn how to set your car up a little easier on your tires.
And Jeff Green said, hey, we've never tested at Dover before. Let's go off. They tested a lot of spots between Bristol and Nazareth. That span of a month or so. Easy for me to say. Yeah. They tested at a number of racetracks. Pit stops taking place now for a number of the teams. Glenn, what are we looking at for the front runners? What are they saying?
Well, Eli, what they're telling me right now, I checked with both the Green brothers crew chiefs and also the Labonte brothers. Bob Labonte tells me that Terry will probably pit when Bobby does, and he won't pit until Bobby comes in. So they're waiting. I see Curtis Markham getting ready to come in right now. Tony Urey, Jeff Green's crew chief, told me that they would probably try to pit with David, but then they passed it on the racetrack. They're just waiting until somebody makes a move so the tires get so bad that they can't stand it anymore. That's one reason Dale Jarrett's moving up like he is. He's got a lot fresher tires than the rest of these guys have.
Working traffic now, the leaders are. Some close quarters racing. Mike McLaughlin peels down the pit lane. He will stop here at lap number 62.
You know, I'm watching these cars as they run around here, Darrell, and it looks like Jeff Green has the fastest car. You can see him move up on the back bumper of the 2 car, but He can't make the move. It's really tough to pass here. It's pretty even.
Yeah, it is. And right now, what everybody's doing, they don't want to pit. The reason nobody wants to pit is because you go a lap down here when you make a pit stop. So all the lead cars want to pit together. If one guy stays out and we grab a caution here, then it puts everybody down the lane.
63 laps of 200 on the board right now. There is the leader. He has been the only leader of the event today, Bobby Labonte, showing the way.
Extreme? Try strapping yourself in a 4,000-pound rocket. Then run at 220. 6 inches away from 41 of your closest friends. Real close. NASCAR. Extreme and always has been. Busch. The official beer of NASCAR and always has been.
Welcome, Dave. Been a long time.
Sure has, Red.
You got a spicy chicken sandwich. But here, try this.
Not bad.
Water?
No, thanks. Now try a Wendy's spicy chicken.
Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich is a whole breast fillet seasoned with Dave's own blend of pepper and spices. It's one very delicious, very spicy sandwich.
Please.
Try Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich and long live the king.
It came from the hills and back roads, a sound of generations that found its way to this humble stage and to the ends of the earth. That stage has grown to become Opryland, USA, where fans come to the cradle for the vacation of a lifetime. Call now for passport package information and a free vacation planning guide. 1-800-882-3914. Opryland, USA, America's country vacation destination.
When asked, 9 out of 10 people say they'd rather be on vacation than at home.
Come on. Bored.
You have to
play. I have to practice. Mom, she's a train professional. Hey, do not throw the ducks.
Of course, most of the people they asked didn't own a John Deere, because in survey after survey, folks are more satisfied with John Deere than other lawn tractors.
Honey, it's green.
It sure is.
Anything?
Nothing runs like a deer. One of these hammers is jacketed in high-impact polycarbonate. The other one is broken. The fiberglass jacketed hammer from Stanley.
What can you do to prevent this gray?
Introducing Thompson's Water Seal Wood Finish Colors. Natural wood tones block graying, and the waterproofing power of Thompson's protects the wood. Thompson's is protection.
We're back with you live at Dover Downs International Speedway in Delaware. TNN Motorsports, the busy race weekend for you. Glad you're tuned in. Bobby Labonte in the 44, still showing the way, but I think getting on the pit road is as much of an adventure as staying on the racetrack.
Yeah, these guys, when they get ready to turn down on the pit lane, the cars are so fast behind them that if you don't give a guy plenty of warning, you get a traffic jam right there, and we could see some real trouble down here in turn 4 with people trying to turn down into the pits.
Meanwhile, Jeff Green in the 3 finally did get around Ricky Craven. Terry Labonte was just ahead of them, and the pass was finally made, put the 3 machine, Jeff Green, up into 3rd spot.
Well, once Ricky Craven understood that Jeff Green had made that move to the inside, he didn't fight him much at all. He made room for him. That's what you call give and take. That's good driving.
And while we were looking at that, he passed another car, too.
Terry Labonte.
His tires are obviously better than everybody else's at this point in time, which were at 71 laps, and everybody said they couldn't run the 50s. That's what I like about racing. They can't count. I mean, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
72 laps of 200 on the board right now. We'll take a look at the field summary there. You'll see exactly how your favorites are running. Bobby Labonte in the 44. Trying to get around Glenn Allen Jr. there in the 99, just ahead of him. Bobby has not been challenged for the lead yet.
No, but he's been sitting there behind that 99 for a pretty good while now. And you know, they've caught that car, but passing it, that's another story. And I wouldn't, if I was Bobby, I'd think twice about holding Jeff up because he is fast right now.
There we have it for the lead.
Going off into turn number 1, Jeff Green showing the way. He was 8th here last year, and this is the first time he has led here at Dover Downs International Speedway. Only the 4th race he has run here at this racetrack. So Jeff Green will take over the lead at lap number 73. Of course, it'll be up to the pit crew to try and make sure that he can hang on to that with the stop coming. But you've got Tony Uri and the fellas in that pit. And he's got some of the best of the bunch, the best in the business working there.
Right now, I'm sure Earnhardt's saying, you know, that testing may have paid off. Sometimes it doesn't, but it looks like in this case it did.
Working around Glenn Allen Jr. there in the 99. 74 is Randy LaJoie. He's in 3rd.
Well, he's closed up a bunch, too. He's come to the front real quick.
So is Mike Wallace there in the 90 machine.
Exactly.
Right behind LaJoie. There's Mike in the Durant paint entry. He's run well on this racetrack. He's run well in ARCA and Busch Series. Still looking for that first Winston Cup win, Mike Wallace is. But the man's found victory lane on occasion.
You see Terry Labonte there in the 5. What he's doing right now is just controlling everything. He dropped back a little bit from the leaders, but he's preserving his tires right at the moment.
I still like, you know, Jarrett's in the best position. If these guys pit under green, you lose a lap here, a little over a lap making a green flag pit stop. Jarrett's got a little advantage on them tire-wise. So if something should happen when these guys make their routine stops, he could be in the catbird seat.
Hey, if you remember last year in the Winston Cup race, you had Jeff Gordon leading, you had Bobby Hamilton short pitting in there, and again, pit strategy, however it plays out because of necessity or out of strategy, that sometimes tells the story in this business. The leader is Jeff Green. He's caught Jason Keller right now in 24th position, trying to put him a lap down. We should be seeing pit stops for the leaders shortly as we are live in Dover, Delaware.
Just how important is it that welders use the right combination of welding and cutting equipment and filler metals? ESOP. See your local ESOP distributor today.
It's 400 miles of rocky, rutted trails with enough bumps and jumps to shake a truck to pieces. But if you think an endurance race through the Arizona desert is a real torture test for a truck, just imagine what it can do to a battery. That's why Parker 400 winners Dan Smith and Dave Ashley chose a battery they could depend on to go the distance. The Duralast battery. The same Duralast you can depend on for your car, because it's the one we stock at AutoZone. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
Today's exclusive coverage of the GM Goodwrench Delco Battery 200 on TNN is brought to you by the more than 1,300 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by ESAB Welding and Cutting Products.
Caution is on the speedway, and that is the reason why. You can see the billowing sheet metal after a tire was cut on Jeff Purvis's machine coming down the main straightaway. So yellow for the second time. He did a heck of a job not finding the wall.
Yeah, well, we did. We heard the tire explode right here in front of us, but that's about how far 80 laps, I think, is stretching those tires. I'm sure the tire just wore out.
Darrell, that's a good indication of how well the inner tire works in that right front, though. It's shredded the tire. You see parts of it there on the front straightaway, and that inner tire held that car up enough where he could turn it and not get into the wall.
Yeah, you can see the damage it did. Look how much it tore the fender and all of that. That's just from a tire blowing out.
Yeah, Glenn, you've got a better look on that side of the car.
Yeah, well, one thing that really helped him, Eli, was that thing blew out about midway down the straightaway. Had it happened in a turn, I don't think anything would have helped him. Darrell will probably attest to that, but he did a very good job of holding it down. The 3-car, Jeff Green, was going to go to lap 95 before this caution came out. They said they couldn't quite get to halfway, but they were going to stretch it that far. Now this will really shuffle things up. But Jeff Purvis, again, did a great job in holding that thing, but thank goodness for him, it blew out on the straightaway.
Well, I'd be a little bit worried. You know, when the engineers tell you can run 50, 60 laps, you can add 20 laps or whatever they tell you, because they're going to keep you in the safe zone, the Goodyear engineers I'm talking about. So when you try to go another 20 laps, which would be about what he'd have to go 95, I think this tire blowing out on Purvis's car was a blessing in disguise for about half the field.
Those are the leaders right there. Jeff Green, who bypassed Bobby Labonte at lap number 73 to take the lead, and Bobby is in second spot. Randy, how bad's that tire look?
You can get a good look at it here, but guess what? This is the belt, but that inner liner is still up. That's the safety of Goodyear that has replaced the bias ply tire with these great radials. They pushed it to the limit on the 4 car. The right front went on him, but interliner's still up, kept him out of the wall fairly good, so he'll be able to continue with the sheet metal damage on the right front.
Yeah, I was watching the 4 car occasionally there, and he was pushing up the racetrack, so he's abusing that right front tire maybe a little bit more than some of these better handling cars are. So, again, you might be able to get 10 more laps out of those tires, but I bet you take them off, they're all going to be worn to the cores.
Well, here are the leaders. Glenn Jarrett, it's all yours in Jeff Green's pit.
Well, Jeff Green has brought the Goodwrench Chevy in, Eli, and the one thing we're talking about tires, but the one thing that they're really concentrating on now is to make darn sure that in addition to the 4 tires that they get all the fuel in the car. This may be the only stop that they make, and they need to get all the fuel they can to try to stretch it. Let's go to Randy.
Boy, nobody wanted to pit. They all wanted to stay out as far as they can. They hoped that they wouldn't be the first caution. It's a 4-tire stop for Bobby Labonte. Ricky Craven blows by on pit road. Likewise for Terry Labonte. The 3 car and David Green all beat the 44 out of the pits.
So the scramble off the pit lane, lap number 83 of 200. We'll come back and reset the entire field for you as we work the second caution flag of the afternoon here at the Monster Mile.
I'm the King Grill.
Oh, yeah?
Baby, you know who's boss. Give me a 2-inch thick T-bone with spicy, hanging, Heinz 57 steak sauce.
Yeah, you're cooking now.
Let's eat.
I didn't see it. I wouldn't believe it.
If I wasn't here, I wouldn't have believed it.
I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it.
These people just witnessed an amazing demonstration. We put this Duraloop treated engine through the ultimate torture test. We drained all the oil, all the water, then flooded it with a fire hose. It kept on running because Duraloop protects your engine like no other product can.
I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it myself.
Now let Duraloop make a believer out of you. Duraloop, peace of mind in a bottle.
I'm the King Grill.
Oh, yeah?
Baby, you know who's boss. Give me a 2-inch thick T-bone with spicy, hanging, Heinz 57 steak sauce.
Yeah, you're cooking now.
Let's eat.
NASCAR fans, sail with the Winston Cup Stars December 9th through 13th on the 2nd annual NASCAR Family Cruise to benefit the Winston Cup Racing Wives Auxiliary. Enjoy NASCAR festivities, parties, and activities, plus stops in the Bahamas. Call now for 5 days and 4 nights on the Big Red Boat, leaving December 9th.
For a pleasurable stroll or serious shopping, visit the Northwest Promenade.
If you want to give the very best, come and see the difference that quality jewelry can make. You will learn why our customers have grown to trust Puros for honest values and personal service. Visit Puros Jewelers.
Sorensen's Dollhouse is your complete dollhouse store with everything for beginners and professionals. We carry name brand kits, electrical supplies, wood, and we're here to provide any help you might need. Experience the full service available at Sorensen's Dollhouses. The Northwest Promenade, 67th Street and Manatee Avenue West in Bradenton.
Keeps asking me out, and no doesn't seem to be part of his vocabulary.
Drink after work, maybe?
I said no, Jack.
Where do you draw the line?
Terry, I need to talk to you.
When flirtation becomes obsession.
Hello? Who is this?
General Hospital's Rena Sofra.
He's got to be stopped.
Hostile Advances, the Carrie Ellison story, a Lifetime original movie.
Cable tells Carrie Ellison's true story.
On Time Warner, your cable company.
We are back at Dover Downs. Hey, coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, we've got the Wisconsin connection. Dick Trickle and Dave Marcus will be joining us on Race Talk. We'll be live from here in Dover, Delaware. Hope you can tune in this evening, 6 o'clock Eastern Time, right here on TNN Motorsports. Ricky Craven currently leading here at Dover Downs International Speedway after the pit stops. There he is. He was 6th coming down the pit lane, but goes out with the race lead. So Ricky Craven doing a fine job here this afternoon. He's had a terrible, terrible, terrible month of May. Of course, today's June the 1st, but back in May he had the 2 big accidents. His wife wrecked the Suburban. He turned 30. So all of that.
Plus a tornado hit his house.
And a tornado hit his house. All of that in the month of May.
I feel sorry for everything except the birthday. I'd love to have that 30th back.
Yeah. I don't remember things being that bad on my 30th birthday.
No, at least we can all remember our 30th birthday.
That's right.
Time now to check out the tire wear. The AutoZone Tech Fact, brought to you by the more than 1,300 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts.
every time a racetrack is repaved, particularly the ones that have recently been repaved, like Dover, Delaware, as well as Bristol, with concrete, Goodyear Tire and Rubber has to come with a few drivers to do a little testing to come up with the right compound and construction for their tires. Now, the first time that they came here, this is only race number 3 on this new surface. First time they came here, they had a little difficulty matching the tires up with the racetrack. They got a little better the second time. This time they came back, they feel like they have the right compound as well as the right construction for this racetrack. It takes a little testing, just like it does for the drivers and the teams, to get their chassis right. So the racetrack, very porous, but they've got these tires to where they like them right now. Should be a good race here tomorrow as well for the Miller Genuine Draft 500. Glenn Jarrett?
Well, thanks, Randy. Let's check with Tony Urey, Jeff Green's crew chief. Tony, you've had a chance now to look at the tires, and I tell you, from what I saw, the tire wear on that number 3 looked pretty doggone good.
They've done a great job again. Everybody's worried about tire wear yesterday. The more rubber get on the racetrack, the better the tire gets. Goodyear knew that. They did a great job. Our cars are driving good. We worked hard to get it to work to run long runs, so we're real tickled right now.
Could you possibly go the rest of the way under green?
It'd be close. If we get a few caution flags in here, I feel sure we can.
Okay, that's the story from Jeff Green's pit.
You know, they talk about the tire. Goodyear came up here for a tire test with Ernie Irvin. Ernie ran 2 laps and backed the car in the wall, and they didn't get to complete their test. So the tire that they brought here was off of their experience and knowledge from Bristol. This is a Bristol Darlington tire, and it's working very, very well here. Obviously, the speeds are up and the wear is good, so they made a great decision.
You know who else had a great pit stop? Todd Bodine. He was 14th before the pit stop. He is now running in 7th here at the restart. So they picked up 7 spots. And here we go, back to green at lap number 89. Going up on the board, Ricky Craven in the 2. But he's got to deal with Terry Labonte as they both go around the 00 of Buckshot Jones. 20 cars currently being shown on the lead lap here at this restart.
Well, this is tense time right here when you get them doubled up like that. I hate double foul restarts. And, it just gets the cars all over the racetrack.
Here's what DW is talking about. You got Hermie Sadler, Phil Parsons, a host of guys who are riding with Phil right now, working to the inside of Kevin Simmons' machine, the 55. A lot of give and take. There better be give and take out there.
Well, there is, and the only problem is if one car does it, one guy makes a mistake in a situation like this, as we've seen so many times at Charlotte last week, these double foul restarts take a lot of precise driving.
90 laps on the board. You're going to see those little shards of tire coming off on that low shot we showed you seconds ago. But at the same time, the tire wear we're hearing up and down pit road has really been outstanding.
Well, yeah, the times are down, or the time around the racetrack's down about 1.5 seconds. When you slow the cars down that much, it'll improve the tire wear considerably. And plus, you're getting rubber in this concrete, filling up those pores in the concrete, and that's helping the tire wear as well.
That's 3rd and 4th place you're looking at, Jeff Green and Randy LaJoy.
Look at Randy LaJoy. He's looked 2 or 3 times to the inside of Green there. I think right now Randy LaJoy's car is a little bit quicker on fresh rubber. Now, as they go along, as we could tell a while ago, Green's car got a lot better after 10, 12, 14 laps. But right now, Randy LaJoy seems to be much quicker.
And we had told you that he had won here way back in 84. He even lapped the field the next year in 85. Then had a late race problem and didn't win it. But here he goes, making the move for 3rd spot now. So the 74 Vina entry. Steve Bird and the crew getting that machine dialed in. And there's a good battle. You've got Hut Strickland in the 28th. The 92 Larry Pearson. That's 11th and 12th spot on the speedway. Back to the stripe.
I like to see that shot right there, Eli, because from up here it looks like those cars are touching each other. But when we get that camera in there, you can see there's a good 6 inches between them. And I'm really glad to know that. Gives me a lot more confidence for tomorrow.
There you go with the Randy LaJoy machine. He's got 2nd away from Terry Labonte. In the garage area, only 3 teams. L.W. Miller with the early accident. Dick Trickle with engine failure. And most recently, Tim Fedowa having to park his machine with transmission problems. Everybody else still out on the racetrack.
What we'll find now, Eli, some of these guys will take off like LaJoy's doing because they know the tires are good. There's not a wear problem. They made minor adjustments on these pit stops they just had. They'll be able to drive a little bit harder. They'll be able to drive with a little bit more confidence. And we're going to see some different guys run up front.
This is for the lead. Ricky Craven has it. Randy LaJoie wants it.
Well, I tell you what, it won't be long till Randy LaJoie will have it. He's going to get it right here off turn 4, I think.
No, he'll wait a few seconds. That's one thing I talked to Bertie, his crew chief, yesterday about. And I said, what would you say was the best part of LaJoie this year over years past? And he said, I've made him understand you have to have patience to win races.
Well, that's what Randy needed. You know, he's such an aggressive driver, such a hard driver. I don't know, we get confused between aggressive and hard. He just runs the wheels off the race car, and you can't do that if you're going to run these long races.
Of course, Ricky Craven is no slouch here. In the last 6 Busch Series races here at Dover, he has 5 times finished in the top 8. Now, whether that's crew, driver, what have you, he's not going to move over.
No, but last fall here, you know, that car led the race right up till I think the engine broke right near the end of the race. So he knows how to get around here.
Here
right
goes
now,
LaJoie.
LaJoie just got a better hand of the car right now.
That's for the lead. Lap number 98. He'll pass him, so if he hangs on, he'll take the lead officially at lap number 99. 1 lap shy of halfway here at the Monster Mile.
That's for big bucks, too. That's the Gatorade halfway money, so that's a good move for him. But you know what I like is he takes the lead here, and he calls in on the radio, and he says, the Kai is good. And all these people here, they understand that. In most places you go, they don't know what he's talking about. So he got a real response when he took the lead.
That's 3rd place you're looking at now. The 5 is Terry Labonte, and the 3 is Jeff Green.
There's some guys that have made some good adjustments on their car during this last pit stop. Mike Wallace is doing very well now, and he's coming right on up to the front.
Sharp left rear. A miss with Chad Little.
He thinks it's a left rear.
He thinks it's a left rear tire that's down, and the crew going to work.
It's the left rear.
And you heard the crew saying 10-4, the left rear.
You know, Eli, it concerns me that we've seen a number of cars today with flat tires. This is a concrete racetrack. There are no stones. There shouldn't be anything here to make the tire go flat. And that really concerns me. I'm not sure what's causing that. Maybe our trusty pit reporter could find out for us.
I'm sure he will do that. 19th position is where Chad Little now finds himself after the unscheduled pit stop. Time for something to eat here at the Monster Mile.
You got it? Great. No, I need it now. I'm out of stock. What do you do when you don't have the right steering pump? And one of your customers needs it? Not tomorrow, but now. You drive 2.5 hours to get one. And try to smile when you deliver it. Even though you didn't make much on the job. I've done it before. And I'll do it again. But not too often, I hope.
Parts Plus. Not just parts. Parts Plus.
Very bad dog. Bad, bad dog. Very bad dog.
Oh dear. When I was just a little boy, I asked my mother, what should I be? Shall I be handsome? Shall I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera.
Just because your dreams have been crushed doesn't mean your boys have to be. 100% cotton, cut for comfort. Fruit of the Loom. Really, really comfortable underwear.
In the Stanley Laboratories, we find out just how good our decorative mirror doors are by opening and closing them over 100,000 times. Funny, isn't that the same way you do it? Decorative mirror doors from Stanley.
Hey, you're a guy, and guys want to stay cool. How do you do it? With new Speed Stick Gel, proven to keep you drier than any other gel. It's the best gel protection. New Speed Stick Gel, just for the guys.
That is where we are, the first state, Dover, Delaware, on the site of what was the old police state barracks before they tore it down and built the Monster Mile. That's Jeff Green. He was leading earlier. He's now backslid to 5th position. He led for 10 laps earlier in the day. Strategy or something to miss, DW? What do you think?
Well, that's what Buddy and I were talking about. It could be strategy. They could say, all right, if we conserve a little, we can make it to the end without another pit stop. That'd be smart. Or it could be an adjustment they made on the pit stop that has got the car off a little bit. That would be dumb. So, you know, it could be kind of hard to tell what's going on here right now.
That is Darrell Waltrip, Buddy Baker. I'm Eli Gold. Glenn Jarrett, Randy Pemberton down on the pit lane. The race lead in the hands of Randy LaJoie. There you have Ricky Craven right now. He's in the 2, and Terry Labonte in the 5. That Stanley mid-race report brought to you by Stanley. Since 1843, Stanley has been helping people do things right. 3 retirees, you see. Otherwise, everybody's still running. 18 of the teams remain on the lead lap at lap 109. Let's talk about the tires. As we've heard from pit road, the guys say the tire wear is wonderful. The tires are doing their job. Darrell, you expressed some concern about a couple of teams having cut tires. Remember a few years ago, guys were taking liberties on tire pressure here. They were under-inflating the tires. I wonder if we're seeing some of that here, if the guys are trying to get an advantage by not going with the recommended air pressure.
Well, 1 pound of air pressure is equal to 50 pounds of spring, so you do mess with it all day long, don't you, Darrell?
Yeah, and the thing about this racetrack is the concrete. If you look, there's all kind of little lines, expansion joints, if you will, in this concrete. Those don't look like very much, but they make that car chatter. Pop, 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 pop. It'll hit those little places in the racetrack. That chattering creates tire pressure. It creates heat in the tire, which builds the tire pressure. So a low tire pressure here would be a real advantage if you could maintain that.
Randy, I don't know if you have a tire gauge in your pocket down there, but what are you hearing from the crew chiefs? Are they going with the Goodyear recommendations or not?
Well, most guys are. I have talked with a Goodyear representative down here. Air pressures have been fairly consistent on pit road. They have noticed that the cars that are running better up front, that chassis that are more hooked up to the racetrack and running smoothly are having better tire wear. So they figure what they're saying is that it's a possibility that it's a chassis problem. A lot of cars, possibly with too much camber, might be running the right front on the inside edge a little bit too much, but the worse your chassis is, the more tire problems you're having. So the guys up front seemingly are doing okay on tires. The guys that are struggling with their chassis a little bit are having a little bit of a problem. As far as the air pressure, from what I'm hearing, most of it, they're going with the recommended pressures.
Interesting. That's 4th and 5th you're watching right now. Jeff Green in the 3, Jeff Fuller in the 47. Right behind them, Bobby Labonte in the 44.
This may be the best race that Jeff Fuller's had all year long. He's been flagged time in, time out. Right now, that car is hooked up, and I know Jeff's got to be real pleased with the way car's running.
His best finish, I believe, was only in top 10. He was 10th at Bristol back early in the season. So that is, you're right, very much his best showing in the season.
And it's not without some excitement somewhere, because if you see the right side of it every now and then, it's got a great big old donut right in the side of it over there. So he's been pushing it pretty hard.
Well, he's up in his old modified country right here. He's putting on the show for the locals.
Yeah, see, there he goes with it. The whole right side of it kind of skin up.
You can see Mike Wallace there taking a move on Bobby Labonte, making it look pretty easy there.
Mike working his way to the front.
Yeah, that car's been fast. I've been watching him, and he's slowly but surely, patiently, I might add, working his way to the front.
And he likes the big tracks. I was sitting here thinking of all of his wins that we were talking about earlier. I think only Raceway Park in Indianapolis was his only short track victory, even in ARCA competition. He swept races at Pocono, won Talladega, and so on, but he likes these big high-speed tracks.
I was watching an interview the other night with their mother, and she said that Mike Wallace is more aggressive than Rusty on the local tracks around home, and she expected him to someday be a real threat on these racetracks.
Well, that team had done very well. Last year in the Busch Series, they showed a lot of promise, but they didn't get off to that good a start this year. So never know for what reason, but Mike he's a very capable driver.
117 of 200 laps on the board right now.
There goes Fuller to the inside.
Yep. He's got one of those calves, too.
Yeah, he does. These guys, they perform well up here in front of their natives. I think that's what it is. They understand the language.
course, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. We're coming up on 133rd lap here shortly.
Yeah, right.
I shouldn't poke fun at anybody.
You see Jeff Green going backwards there as Mike Wallace goes by him. Here comes Bobby Labonte making the pass down the back straightaway.
Well, I'm not sure. I thought for a while strategy was being played out there with the 3-car, but he has fallen back so fast, I just don't think that's the case.
Yeah, he continues to backslide now as he's been bypassed by many. He's almost out of the top 10. We're in lap 119. The fans love this day. It's a magnificent afternoon in Dover, Delaware. We're coming right back.
To make this beauty look its best, I use Armor All Protectant on the vinyl and rubber. And for the paint, now there's Armor Plate Paint Protectant. It shines, protects, and really makes those colors pop. New Armor Plate. It's like Armor All for your paint.
At AutoZone, most of our customers are folks who like to work on their cars themselves. But the ones who come in most often are those who work on cars for a living. Guys like Ed Graven. Now, Ed's garage is in Ogden, Utah, where most of the time you'll find him pulling an engine or sliding under a car. And just about every day, he drives past a half-dozen other parts stores on his way to AutoZone. Because Ed knows that when it comes to getting the right part for the right price, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Enter the Performance Zone with Split-Fire Performance V spark plugs.
You get your passing gear, you're gone. The difference in gas mileage has been fantastic.
Split-Fire Performance V spark plugs mean better performance, more horsepower, and better mileage. So say the experts and the people who use them.
They're the best plugs I ever put in my car.
Enter the Performance Zone, only with Split-Fire Performance V's, guaranteed.
Get a tough case of athlete's foot, and you're benched. You get that itching, the cracking, the burning. That's when you want a medicine that acts tough. Boom! Tough Actin Tenactin. It cures even tough cases of athlete's foot. Get Tough Actin Tenactin.
There's more soap residue in your hair than you think. So you'd better call your Rain Soft water treatment dealer today.
Oh, well, I'm the kind of life for any job you do, any job that needs 3 hands, but you've got only 2, 'cause I'm the Snake Light from Black & Decker. I'll get around, I'm the Snake Light.
Nothing makes a car look hotter than shiny wheels. So I use Quicksilver Wheel Cleaner from Armor All. No scrubbing, just spray and rinse to get the brake dust and grime ordinary cleaners can leave behind. So every time you wash your car, use Quicksilver from Armor All.
Coming up Monday on Primetime Country, the gambler, Kenny Rogers, is your guest host. It's Kenny Rogers, your guest host on Primetime Country, Monday night at 9 Eastern on TNN.
Randy LaJoie continues to lead here at the Monster Mile. There is second place, Ricky Craven in the 2, Terry Labonte in the 5. Then you've got the 00, Buckshot Jones. Got to give him a call. He's not running with the leaders. Heck, he's 5 laps down, but he might be one of the quickest cars on the racetrack right now.
He has made some incredible passes. He blew by Jeff Green, and he's chased down Terry, and he's been all over the back of Terry, and he's trying to figure out how to get by him, but I don't know what they did down there in his pit on this pit stop, but they fixed that car.
That team's running well. What about Jeff Green? He continues to backslide. He's in 8th spot now. Fellas, any report from his pit?
Eli, all they did was change tires on the Jeff Green car. Suddenly he picked up a terrible push. I came to crew chief Tony Uri, asked him what the problem is, asked him if they would mess with the air pressure. He said probably not, but they are going to pull rubber out of the right front on the next stop. So they got a little adjusting to do. They hope they get a stop under caution to do it in.
Picking up Jeff Green there in the Goodwrench car number 3.
Well, Earnhardt sitting up there saying, I knew he shouldn't have spent all that money testing. That's a waste of time. I'm never going to test Dover again.
Let's go. I believe it's time now to play Meet the Press. Glenn Jarrett, Darrell Waltrip.
Darrell, I've got a question. I can remember racing in Martinsville when they first made it concrete, and the car would seem to tighten up on into the race, get tighter and tighter and tighter. Well, here's Jeff Green saying, let's take a rubber out of the right front. Well, obviously, that's going to loosen the car up. Is that a similar situation here at Dover? Do the cars get tighter as they go on?
Yeah, Glenn, what's happening is if you just keep an eye on the racetrack, the surface is getting darker and darker and darker, and these tires are just filling the track up with rubber. When you get all that rubber in there, you lose your grip, and you need to be able to make adjustment. That's why we put those rubbers in those springs, is so if that happens, you've got something to play with, some sort of adjustment to help you get the car fixed.
Daryl, I can't believe he said that. I can't remember him running long enough in a race to find out whether it's concrete or asphalt.
Man, this is a tough room. This is a tough room to play here this weekend. We're 130 laps into the event, and it's a 3.7-second lead now for Randy LaJoie. Jeff Buller's in the 47. He continues to run well in the 5th spot. There you see him go inside of Tony Stewart. That's the same Tony Stewart, by the way, if you're not familiar, same fellow who started on the pole at the Indianapolis 500 a weekend ago. There's Jeff Buller in his 3rd Busch Series race here at Dover Downs.
Tony Stewart is a guy that I've talked to a lot of people about, a guy I got my eye on, I might add, that people say that know him and have raced with him and have dealt with him, that he has more potential than Jeff Gordon.
Wow. Here's the only guy to win the Sprint, Midget, and Silver Crown Championship of USAC in the same season. Did it last year.
I talked to Waddell Wilson about him, and Waddell Wilson, you know, he's been around a long time, and he said, "This is somebody that you ought to latch on to." And I've been trying to call you, Tony. If you got to call me, will you, buddy?
And this is only his 4th Busch race. He was 21st at Daytona, 39th at Atlanta, 16th in Bristol, and he's running middle of the pack right now, 28th here at Dover.
That's Harry Renier's car. If people remember, he had the famous number 28, actually started that team, and he has an eye for talent like that. And he's really high on Stewart also.
Tony Stewart, good to have him with us here. He said, boy, it's a breath of fresh air coming to Dover after the pressures of Indianapolis over the last month, and I am sure that's the case.
Yeah, can you imagine the things that happened to that young man at Indy? His teammate got killed.
Yeah.
And, he starts the race on the pole, and he ran great. He did a super job.
Trouble in turn number 2 as 3 cars get together in the corner. Still spinning there. You see Grissom coming down off the wall. Tommy Houston in the 6th, but they were the 3rd and 4th cars involved. One car was Mike Dillon. You see him with the Detroit gasket on the hood. He was the first one to break loose. Glenn Allen, the 99, the black machine. He then cut loose. And then you had Tommy Houston and Steve Grissom. Grissom there in the 29. But that all happens coming out of turn number 2, going onto the back straightaway. They were running back in 16th, 17th, 18th spot.
And it happened right in front of the leader, and the leader had to really check up, and when he did, about 7 or 8 cars got a lap back in that little exchange right there. So that was good news, bad news for some people.
See Tommy Houston coming back towards the pit. You cannot tell people how narrow that is coming off that corner. When a car spins over there, and it's a self-cleaning racetrack, everything goes to the bottom once you get in trouble, and there's just nowhere to go.
And the track narrows up by 10 feet on top of it all.
Yeah, this is one place where you can hit that inside wall just as hard as you can hit that outside wall.
There's Glenn Allen. He's out of his car. Steve Grissom climbing from his machine. Let's take another look and see what happened, guys.
Yeah, the 72.
There you go. Looks like Tommy Houston and Dillon might have gotten together right there.
Yeah, and there come Grissom, and
there's Glenn Allen, the 99, just got caught up.
Yeah.
That replay,
look at that's the 38 car, I believe. He
Dennis
just squeezed it. Here's your leader right back here and all that smoke. And see all these cars going to get around him. A bunch of them got a lap back. But you can see the angle that Grissom's car, that 29 car, is setting on. That's how much angle there is on that back straightaway.
You can see Tommy Houston, he got his in reverse. He was getting out of town. He wanted to get away from all those wrecked cars.
Let's go down to Glenn. He's following the Randy LaJoie stop.
Well, they're coming in, Eli, for what they hope will be their last pit stop. They're at lap 136. Obviously, they can go the rest of the way. It will be 4 tires and fuel. I asked Bertie, the crew chief, if they were going to make any changes at all. He just looked at me like I had just landed on the moon. Said, no, man. Said, it's perfect right now. He is absolutely perfect, so no changes.
There come Ricky Craven's car first off the pit lane. Terry Labonte second off the pit lane. So the running order will shuffle here under caution. Lap number 136, a multi-car accident on the back straightaway. We'll update you further as soon as we come back on TNN Motorsports.
Protect your engine. Remember, pure oil now, pure oil later.
Pure oil later.
Bug Be Gone from Ortho, the only ready-to-use diazinon bug killer that kills virtually any bug anywhere.
Just how important is it that welders use the right combination of welding and cutting equipment and filler metals? ESOP. See your local ESOP distributor today.
It's 400 miles of rocky, rutted trails with enough bumps and jumps to shake a truck to pieces. But if you think an endurance race through the Arizona desert is a real torture test for a truck, just imagine what it can do to a battery. That's why Parker 400 winners Dan Smith and Dave Ashley chose a battery they could depend on to go the distance. The Duralast battery. The same Duralast you can depend on for your car, because it's the one we stock at AutoZone. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
Today's exclusive coverage of the GM Goodwrench Delco Battery 200 on TNN is brought to you by the more than 1,300 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by ESAB Welding and Cutting Products.
Back at Dover Downs, they're just buttoning up the hood on Bobby Labonte, an unscheduled stop. He was in at lap 136, now again at lap 138. He was running 7th at the time of the unscheduled stop. Taking a look at the top 10, that's how they're running at this very moment. Still under caution. The cleanup continues on the back straightaway. Don't you leave us. We're coming right back.
One of these hammers is jacketed in high-impact polycarbonate. The other one is broken. The fiberglass jacketed hammer from Stanley.
Get out of rough, tall grass and weeds like this, you don't need one of these. You need one of these. The Weed Terminator.
The Weed Terminator replacement head with serrated edge blades cuts through tall weeds and grass with ease. The Weed Terminator replacement head installs quickly and easily, and changing replacement blades is a snap.
After all, there's a lot better things to be doing with your time.
Available at finer home improvement centers and retailers worldwide.
What can you do to prevent this gray?
Introducing Thompson's Water Seal Wood Finish Colors. Natural wood tones block graying, and the waterproofing power of Thompson's protects the wood. Thompson's is protection.
His life ended so tragically. For some, the music died. For others, it will not fade away. Remembering Buddy Holly.
Tuesday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central on TNN, the Nashville Network.
For a pleasurable stroll or serious shopping, visit the Northwest Promenade.
Hi, I'm Ray Keston, inviting you to come in and see why M. Keston Apparel for Men has been voted Bradenton's best men's store. M. Keston Apparel for Men, Northwest Promenade.
If you want to give the very best, come and see the difference that quality jewelry can make. You will learn why our customers have grown to trust Puros for honest values and personal service. Visit Puros Jewelers.
The Northwest Promenade, 67th Street and Manatee Avenue West in Bradenton.
How long has Discount Auto Parts been saving you money? 25 years, a quarter century of quality, savings, and value. And now with over 300 stores, the anniversary sales savings are spectacular. Castro Motor Oil is down to 98 cents a quart. Grease Lightning is anniversary sale priced at only $8.88. The Super Econo Club is only $19.99. Discount Auto Parts, helpful, friendly service, lifetime guarantee on hard parts, and 25th anniversary savings for you. You work on cars? It pays to go with the pros you know.
Folks at Duralube giving up the great overhead pictures from the aerial camera here this afternoon. Glad you're with us on TNN Motorsports for this afternoon's running of the NASCAR Busch Series race here at the Monster Mile. Hey, have you had a chance to go to NASCAR Thunder yet? I hope so. You might want to race on down to the new and official store of NASCAR. NASCAR Thunder is located at the Gwinnett Place Mall in Atlanta, Georgia. NASCAR Thunder, everything you'd like. They've got it, the official store of NASCAR. 3 or 4 pit stops now, Glenn, for Bobby Labonte. What's going on?
Well, Eli, a while ago when they made their pit stops under the caution flag, as by my count, the 4th thing off of pit road, was a loose tire. Somebody hit it. Unfortunately, it was Bobby Labonte. He hit that tire off of somebody's car coming off of pit road. It knocked the toe end out on his car, towed the right front tire in, made the car dart through the corners. He just couldn't drive it. So they've taken the opportunity, taking advantage of this caution period to adjust that toe end, get it set back. Normally, I guess, Darrell, about an 1/8 to 3/16 here, but that's what he had to keep making pit stops for. He will come back in one more time to keep adjusting that toe end. Let's go to Randy.
Well, Winston Cup regular Ricky Craven has got 4 of his guys from his Winston Cup crew here working on this car on pit road. Their first pit stop was in 1830. The last time it was a 1950. I talked to a couple of guys that said, well, heck, we haven't got much practice in the last couple of weeks because we've had a couple of wrecks. We haven't been able to pit. So we thought we'd come here, give these guys a little help, and they got them out first. So they also jacked in a round of wedge in the left rear of Craven's car. An update on a couple of others. Mike Wallace, who's running extremely well, took on just 4 tires, no adjustments. As far as the 3 car with the bad push, they also had an air wrench go awry in that pit stop, which pushed them back a little bit further. The rubber they took out was the left rear.
All right, he was running 8th. Jeff Green was in the 3 before the yellow, and now he has dropped back to the 13th position. Further updates, Glenn Jarrett. Let's get back to the Bobby Labonte story.
Well, he came back in once more, Eli. I think they've got the job done now. In fact, they are. They're putting up the string that they used to set the toe in with. That tire, when he hit it, well, actually, no, I believe they're coming back in one more time if they can. But that tire, when he hit it, bounced up in the air, then hit the left rear of the tire. Maybe we can get a camera to look at the fender damage right above the back of the left rear tire. So he hit pretty hard. Those tires, when they're mounted up on the wheel like that, they're heavy. It was bouncing along, and he popped it good a couple of times.
Meanwhile, track cleanup is continuing for the multi-car accident on the back straightaway. Hence, we remain under yellow as you look inside our production truck here at the Monster Mile. Say hello, everybody.
Race fans, enter the Pocono Raceway Promotion Engine Treatment Fantasy Sweepstakes and have a chance to win trips for 2 to the July 21st Miller 500 at Pocono, the August 3rd Brickyard 400, and the 1997 Daytona 500, plus $5,000 in cash. To enter the sweepstakes and receive free Promotion Engine Treatment literature, call toll-free 1-800-800-0987 or send your name, address, and phone number on a 3x5 piece of paper to this address. For a complete set of rules and a free Pocono Raceway ticket brochure, call 1-800-RACEWAY.
Just how important is it that welders use the right combination of welding and cutting equipment and filler metals? ESOP. See your local ESOP distributor today.
But the Busch Series races are half the length, twice the competition.
Very hard to make the field. A lot of side-by-side racing. 40 cars within 0.3 of a second.
It's the most competitive racing there is.
You see the fans going crazy in the stands and twirling hats and shirts.
They're smart fans, too. They know what car you're in, what manufacturer you drive for.
That's what we all work for, I tell you. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the world. The NASCAR Busch Series, great racing.
Peerless Faucet didn't come up with the idea for a spout long and high enough to reach over and into large objects. We merely adapted it for the kitchen. High-rise faucet designs by Peerless. Get more out of your faucet than just water.
I'm the King Grill.
Oh, yeah?
Baby, you know who's boss. Give me a 2-inch thick T-bone with spicy, hanging, Heinz 57 steak sauce.
Yeah, you're cooking now.
Let's eat.
Today's exclusive coverage of the GM Goodwrench Delco Battery 200 on TNN is brought to you by Peerless Faucet. Get more out of your faucet than just water. And by tangy Heinz 57 steak sauce. Let's eat.
We are back at Dover Downs, getting set to go back to green. Yeah, but old Hermie Sadler, buddy, he's found himself in the top 5.
Boy, oh boy, all the way up to 5th. Hermie's been right in there all day long, and he's sporting a new paint job. You want to elaborate on it?
Oh, yeah, they helped unveil that brand new power tool, the 18-volt power tool that DeWalt, his sponsor, has, and they're unveiling it with a new paint scheme on the car you see to your left, the DeWalt machine. Hermie only has one top 10 finish this year. That was second at Hickory. see what he can do. 6th place, you got Todd Bodine battling up front. Ricky Craven, the leader. Here we go. Green out at lap number 146.
Darrell, as you say, this is probably the most touchy part of any race is restart. When you have 2, 3 wide going in the corner, you see one car there getting loose and get started into turn 1.
Yeah, all it takes a little tap from somebody and you turn the car sideways, and not only do you get into the car that got sideways, but you chain react. You can't stop.
This first lap here upon the restart.
You were speaking of Hermie, he's going to run the Winston Cup race tomorrow, too.
Yes, he is.
He qualified 20-odd, did a pretty good job today, second round.
Yeah, didn't qualify last week at Charlotte, makes his debut here tomorrow.
You can see Jeff Fuller there. He almost got in the back of the car just in front of him there. That's Fuller on the left side in the Sunoco car. You're riding with Chad Little as they go through turn 3 and 4 right as we speak.
Lap 147 on the board. Do you keep cool on the radio, DW?
You got to let that frustration out, Eli. And the radio is the first thing you think of. You punch that button, and you may holler at your crew chief, you may holler at your spotter. You say things that people would swear that can't be the same guy I was talking to in the pits earlier today. It's just a frustration factor, and it goes way up when you're in tense situations.
Look at that gaggle of race cars.
So for all drivers, I might add,
Jeff Fuller's having problems when he starts off turn 2 there.
Looks as though a flat tire. Oh, my!
Dennis Setzer went way up in the air after contact there.
Fuller couldn't control the car. Looked as though the left rear might have been the wild one there. And you saw Fuller, he was yanking one way, the car was going the other. Caution on the speedway for the 4th time.
I hate double foul restarts. That certainly didn't have anything to do with that, but it adds to the problem.
Because everybody's together, and poor old Dennis Setzer, because they have not had a particularly good year.
He about went air. He was up in the air. I thought he was going over.
16th position, and look at what remains of Fuller's right front.
All over a tire that was going down. I mean, you end up with a no race car, basically. And that team's had that kind of year also.
Yeah. There's another machine that was involved there in the spin. Bobby Donner's car that he owns. Kevin Simmons is the driver, a late model stock car racer from New River Valley Speedway. Here's what happened again with Fuller.
Look at that car, Seth. It's up. It tried to turn over twice.
Bobby Donner got into the back of the car there and got into Setzer there as Fuller got up there. He got into the side of Setzer. Setzer was really lucky that car didn't turn over down the back straightaway.
Here it is again. You got 52 as Donner. Well, there is some contact with Fuller. Exactly right.
Yeah, Fuller was slowing down. Donner got into him because he couldn't get out behind him. That turned him up into the front of the 38 car, which was trying to get by on the outside.
And so you don't get confused. Bobby Donner is driving the 52, Kenny Schrader's car that Andy Hillenberg has driven. Donner's car that he owns.
See, watch the 47. Watch the 47. It turns.
Yeah.
Because the 52 got into the back of him.
Boy, that was a wild ride, and a lot of work, Randy, to try and get that car for Fuller back in if they can.
Boy, that's a tough break for these guys. His best finish, a 10th at Bristol after really running so well so many times last year. The right front brake rotor is gone on it. He's not going to have any front brake. Possibly he's got some left. They're pounded down on the hood. They've got to continue here and get as many points as they can. They got the hammers coming out. The right front's torn up pretty good, but he's only got 50 laps. They're going to probably lose a lap or two in the pits, and then they're going to keep going around until they can continue to come in and pit and work under caution.
They're 24th in points, the Sunoco team is now, as opposed to 10th at the same time a year ago.
Darrell, that's not any fun to go out there with just rear brakes. And I tell you, if you have to really avoid something, jump on the brakes, the car will turn right around.
Well, I'm not a real prognosticator, but that car probably will not go back out on the racetrack. I think it's torn up too bad. He might try to go back out there, but I think he's going to be in the garage.
That's too bad.
If he doesn't have a brake rotor, then he's got a lot of other damage too. So I doubt that they can get it where he can drive it at all.
See the bungee cords there that they're trying to attach to kind of gift wrap the race car if they can to keep it in one piece.
See, the driver he may not even know he doesn't have any brakes just yet. He's going to be the guy that's going to tell him, I ain't going nowhere.
Let's take a look again at what happened in real time from when Fuller first had a problem, and you'll see what happened. There he is right there at the bottom of the screen. You saw the car wiggle. That was the first telltale sign of a tire problem. Now watch Fuller, low part of the screen.
Yeah, he's just trying to get down out of the way. He doesn't want to get in anybody's way, but here comes 52, and he just barely, he's trying to squeeze by.
Whoa, Fuller was like a launching ramp for the 38 car for Setzer.
Fuller was trying to get down, but because his tire was flat, he couldn't just turn the car down. The 52 was trying to squeeze between him and the wall. Fuller kind of drifted up maybe a tad, and the 52 got into it.
Well, one of those incidents that makes Dover Downs the Monster Mile. We're at lap 152. The 38, Dennis Setzer, going to the garage. We're coming right back.
Get a grip on it. Tools that built the USA. Get a grip on it. Then you can be your best today. Yeah. When you grip on it.
When you need a grip on life's little challenges, get a grip on Channel Lock.
Maybe it's because their frames are welded instead of bolted. Or because their decks are stamped from a single piece of steel. Or maybe it's the fact that they have the highest resale value in the industry.
Oh, hey, I always wanted one of these. Thanks.
But the truth is, when people are asked what kind of lawn tractor they'd like as a gift,
Happy birthday, Dad.
most say the same thing.
If I didn't see it, I wouldn't believe it.
If I wasn't here, I wouldn't have believed it.
I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it.
These people just witnessed an amazing demonstration. We put this Duraloop treated engine through the ultimate torture test. We drained all the oil, all the water, then flooded it with a fire hose. It kept on running because Duraloop protects your engine like no other product can.
I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it myself.
Now let Duraloop make a believer out of you. Duraloop, peace of mind in a bottle.
This garage floor's a disaster. Can anything help?
Introducing Thompson's Garage Floor Protector. Covers stubborn old stains, repels most new ones, even oil. It's like having a whole new garage. Thompson's Garage Floor Protector. Thompson's is protection.
This stain didn't hold up.
You used the wrong stain. Thompson's Water Sealed Deck Stain is made tough just for decks. 50 scuff-resistant colors, plus the superior waterproofing power of Thompson's. Thompson's is protection.
Getting set to go back to green. Let's take you there, riding along with the Channel Lock team. And Phil Parsons, Dennis Setzer, and Kevin Simmons have gone to the garage. Todd Bodine, Jeff Fuller still on the pit lane. Ricky Craven, the leader. Here we go, lap number 155. Phil Parsons in 11th spot. We're riding with him.
Yeah, he's done a good job of moving up to the finish. Phil's been doing a good job in the Busch Series.
See the third car there, that's Randy LaJoie. He has been constantly the fastest car in the second part of this race. I think right now he has to be very patient, though, and just work his way up to the front. I think he has a car to beat.
Buddy, how would you like to be in that mess right there on a one-groove racetrack?
No, thank you. I like my steady pay right up here.
I hate to watch all that.
You're clear! You heard the spotter tell Chad Little, you're clear.
And he told him in no uncertain terms, too. Get down, get out of there.
But now he has Hut Strickland to his inside.
Yeah, he didn't you just can't react that quickly. You're clear, but you can't cut it to the bottom.
Kenny Wallace there in the 8 car. He's had a problem at
there
the
they go, there they go.
There goes Chad Little into the outside wall.
Here they come.
Oh,
there we go.
McLaughlin in the 34. Strickland the 28. Patty Moise the 14. Go on to say we talked about it coming. Probably you saw it coming, didn't you?
Yeah.
Lap number 158 is when they'll come around and get the caution. Mike McLaughlin's car that you're looking in from right now.
Jump bound down against the inside wall there in the yellow car.
Doesn't surprise me either.
You had Little. We said Patty Moise. There she is in the 14.
57 back there. Jason Keller. There's several cars in that one. That was a pretty hard lick, too. See, Chad Little could not get out. He was hung up on the outside, and the cars come off a 2 over there, and there's just not enough room.
scary enough riding with Chad in that in-car camera. I can't imagine
All right, Mike.
what it feels like. Let's take a look at it again.
See Chad there in the green car on the outside. Hut
He and
Strickland
Hut, yeah.
gets into him just a little bit. It don't take much there.
Here comes
Jeff Green got by.
Here comes the 34 car, nowhere to go. I mean, he's committed to the inside. Patty Moise almost cleared. Now, what's the 92 car? Is
That's
it right
Larry
there?
Pearson. My goodness.
Did he know? Wow. Things worked out for him very well.
I'd like to say that was skill, but Larry was just lucky.
That was fate.
There you see Hut Strickland, the 28, and the 23, Chad Little. That's what keyed it. Look at Phil Parsons getting by in the Channel Lock car.
See McLaughlin nowhere to go. Wow, he hit the inside wall very hard, too.
He did. That was a hard lick.
My goodness. But look how narrow, folks. You see how narrow that back straightaway is? We don't want to keep overstating it, but it's only 46 feet wide. There again.
You can see Dale Jarrett going by on the inside. Jeff Green, some of them were lucky. A lot of guys were not.
Poor old Chuck Bound had nowhere to go. Second car that team's gone through here this weekend. Had a practice accident yesterday.
He's had a miserable week.
And Chad Little is on the pit lane. We'll update his situation shortly.
Get that spoiler back up there if we can now.
We are 158 laps of 200 complete. We're nearing the finish here at Dover Downs.
To get the most out of this Indy car, Patrick Racing put Scott Pruitt behind the wheel. They built a team that could get it in and out of the pits in the blink of an eye. And they chose a battery they can depend on to get it started. The Duralast battery from AutoZone. The same Duralast you can depend on to start your car. So don't settle for anything less. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane, Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium were formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving. To give you smooth starts and sure acceleration. Just give us 5 tanks, and we think Power Plus and Power Premium will make quite an impression on you.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
Highway transportation provided by Cedar Ridge RV Center, Branchville, New Jersey, featuring Winnebago Motorhomes. Call 1-800-988-4884 and find out why Winnebago is the choice of champions. We are at Dover Downs International Speedway, and hopefully while you're watching this telecast, you're also logged on to NASCAR Online. That's the internet address. They've got updated scoring and all the NASCAR information for you right from the racetrack. NASCAR Online at www.nascar.com. Let's go to some of the in-car cameras now that were involved in the accident moments ago. Here's what it looked like and sounded like to Mike McLaughlin. My goodness, and now from Chad Little's in-car camera on the John Deere car. Man, he was like the little silver ball in a pinball machine.
Eli, some things just don't need words. That right there spoke for itself. You can see when things go wrong, they really go wrong here in a hurry.
Well, those cars weigh 3,300 pounds, and they're bouncing off each other in those walls. And even though that sounds like just a little crunch, it's an incredible impact that the driver feels when they hit together like that and then hit the wall as well.
And poor old Chad, I mean, he hasn't finished better than 11th at Hickory and Nazareth this year. I mean, last year at this point, he was 8th in points. This year, he's 21st. It's been that kind of a season.
Yeah, John Deere green has not been good for Chad, but I don't blame, it's not the color, I can assure you, because I've had green cars. They're just having a bad year, and, you know, they switched from a Ford to a Pontiac, and they've had a real battle with that, too.
Randy Pemberton, I see you down there supervising. Looks fairly significant.
Oh, yeah, I can help him over the wall a little bit. I can work the duct tape, and they're going to need plenty of it. This guy and this team, it is amazing how luck can change has not had anything better than an 11th place finish in 1996, and he could be barely beaten back in 1995 when he won so many races. But they have got damage, heavy damage all the way around. They just want to get it just so they can point it in the direction of going north. You know what I'm saying? They just want to get it so they can ride around a few laps. There's a bunch of cars that were in that wreck, and they want to be able to get a few laps on them and gain some points. But other than that, they got nothing.
Point this baby towards Philadelphia, and let's go. And Hut Strickland is out of his car. He was limping fairly significantly, and they put him on a stretcher. They'll take him to the infield care center for the mandatory check over there. Everybody else, though, has managed to pull away. There you see the Hut Strickland car being put back onto the rollback. They couldn't even get it onto the wrecker. They had to bring the rollback out there. Patty Moise has been in for service. Chuck Bound's car is still on the pit lane there. You see he's just one stall ahead of the Chad Little machine. Jeff Fuller still being serviced. There's Chuck.
Pretty soon we're going to have more cars on pit road than we got on the racetrack the way it's going.
We're at lap 161, still 39 laps to go.
You know, not long ago, we saw an axle on the front straightaway that come out of Todd Bodine's car. The cap on the axle itself come off the car, and the axle come out on the racetrack and went down against the inside wall.
Yeah, they've been furiously trying to get one back in there, and certainly these caution laps are helping them do that.
We are at lap 162, working the 5th caution flag of the afternoon, but it's a rather significant one. A lot of cleanup yet to go on the back straightaway. We're coming right back.
Your car's fuel injectors work like this when they're clean. But when they're clogged and dirty, all you get is a trickle of power that can make your car really run rough and sound out of tune. Pour in Berryman B12 Chem Tool. No expensive tune-up, no dirty hands, just maximum mileage, faster starts, out-of-sight performance. And all for about the price of a bottle of shampoo. Berryman B12 Chem Tool. It just may be the only tool you need for out-of-sight performance.
When I was just a little boy, I asked my mother, what should I be? Shall I be handsome? Shall I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera.
Just because your dreams have been crushed doesn't mean your boys have to be. 100% cotton, cut for comfort. Fruit of the Loom. Really, really comfortable underwear.
On the next Dukes of Hazzard, Bo and Luke land in hot water again when they pick up a water heater for Uncle Jesse at the station depot. Seems it's filled with a little marijuana weed instead of H2O. That's the Dukes of Hazzard, Monday at 4 on TNN.
The problem with most games is they end. But what if there were a game where the winning went on forever? And you played it and won. Like $1,000 a week for the rest of your life. You could live with that. Win for life, the new scratch-off game from the Florida Lottery.
Keeps asking me out, and no doesn't seem to be part of his vocabulary.
Drink after work, maybe?
I said no, Jack.
Where do you draw the line?
Julia, I need to talk to you.
When flirtation becomes obsession.
Hello? Who is this?
General Hospital's Rena Sofer.
He's got to be stopped.
Hostile Advances, the Carrie Ellison story, a Lifetime original movie.
Cable tells Carrie Ellison's true story.
On Time Warner, your cable company.
Commercial transportation for this broadcast has been provided by Ryder, the official transportation company for Opryland. And speaking of Opryland, why don't you give them a call and head on over to the official destination of NASCAR. Call Opryland at 615-889-6611. They're open Monday through Friday at that phone number to give you information. Of course, Opryland open whenever you want to go by and visit the official destination of NASCAR. On the leaderboard, Ricky Craven shows the way. Randy LaJoy is in the second spot. Glenn, can they chase him down?
Well, we'll find out, Eli. So far, what we've seen is when they go back to green flag racing, it looks like Randy LaJoy is the fastest car on the racetrack. But all these caution laps, man, this ain't what you want to see.
I want to see the green laps. You know, we're pretty quick. Randy Suzuki is great. You know, we had one goal today. A good friend of mine, Jimmy Burgess' brother died this week. And we're trying to win this race for Bobby Burgess.
So far, it looks like he may be able to dedicate this race to Bobby Randy. Again, fastest car when they go back to green. A quick update on Hut Strickland. When they took him out of the hospital, he had his right knee braced up, immobilized. So he does have a right knee problem. We'll try to find out more about it and let you know. But he was alert and talking.
And with 500 laps tomorrow in that Circuit City car, that could be a handful.
Yeah, it's a shame because he's qualified well for the race tomorrow. He's running well. I watched him in practice this morning. I hope he's all right. I hope it's not serious.
Big ice packs tonight. That's what you do for those knees.
I bet. Well, Jeff Fuller's pulling back out onto the racetrack. And with the axle problems we talked about, Todd Bodine finds himself about 6 laps down right now as we continue under caution here at Dover Downs.
Goodyear AquaTread revolutionized wet traction design. Now Goodyear introduces the first tire with a lifetime tread life warranty. The new all-season InfiniTread. Its tread is guaranteed for as long as you own your car. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
Right now, get a $40 introductory manufacturer's rebate from Goodyear when you buy 4 InfiniTread radials, Goodyear's longest-wearing passenger tire. That's $40 on 4 Goodyear InfiniTreads. But hurry, this Goodyear offer ends soon.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Red. Back so soon?
I hear Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich is back, but try this.
Not bad. Now try this.
Wendy's spicy chicken is a whole breast fillet seasoned with Dave's own blend of pepper and spices for a very spicy sandwich.
Too bad it's not around all the time.
Didn't I tell you? People like it so much, it's on the menu full time.
Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich. Now you can get it whenever you want it.
I'll be back.
And I'll be waiting.
That's right. That's exactly right. How am I supposed to explain that to the client?
We have no time.
This is Jeff.
Hi, it's me.
Hi, what's up?
How's work?
It's busy, very busy. What's up?
Well, do you want to meet me at home for lunch?
No, that's I can't do that right now. I'm in the middle of something and I can't get away. It's a big meeting,
Uh-huh. Have you looked in your briefcase yet?
Wait. Come on.
I left you something this morning.
I'll be home in 10 minutes.
Hold it, Harry. You know you can't use Duraloop fuel treatment in your Indy car. It's an unfair advantage.
I'm not allowed to use this product in my Indy car, but in my road car, I want the Duraloop advantage.
Duraloop is scientifically formulated to clean, condition, and protect your fuel system for a smoother running engine with more power and less harmful emissions. Duraloop fuel treatment, tomorrow's technology today.
We are wrapping up our 45th mile of caution this afternoon, and you're with us in time for the restart. Green flag, lap 168 of 200. Ricky Craven is the leader in the 2. And there's old Buckshot Jones.
I'm telling you, he's fast. He's been hanging right there with them. There's the 8 car against the wall. No,
yeah, Kenny Wallace.
Got a flat tire problem.
Kenny continuing to run. He was being shown in 6th place. So that is a very devastating problem at this stage of the afternoon.
Bobby Labonte's off the pace.
Randy LaJoie better hope the Buckshot knows that he's running to win this race, because right now he's the pick in between the 2, and they need to get by to make a run at Ricky Craven near the end here.
There goes LaJoie. Yep, gave him a room. Here's what happened to Kenny Wallace. Watch for the number 8 car. There he goes, right up, and good job for Kevin LePage in the 88 not to tag him. And Kenny now making his way down the pit lane. He'll have to come in for service. There he is at lap number 169. Up front 2, then the lap car, the 00. There is Ricky Craven showing the way. He's done well here.
You can see Randy LaJoie, though, he's moving in. He pulled about 2 car lengths on that last lap, and he's moving in on Craven as we speak.
You know, even if he wins the race today, and the 95 car is still running 4th here, so the point battle's still going to be, it's tightened up a little bit, but not as much as you would think.
Right front tire was down on Kenny Wallace, if you're curious.
Is that Hermie? Oh, no, that's 47 car.
That's
looks like I thought that was Hermie's new paint job. That was...
that is Hermie right there in front of Phil Parsons. They're going around Fuller there. Fuller 15 laps down.
They look very similar.
That's the battle for the lead. Ricky Craven the 2, Randy LaJoie in the 74. Craven took the lead at lap 137. We're now at lap 172.
You know, Darrell, it's hard to explain to people what momentum means. Randy LaJoie had not won a race in his whole Busch Grand National career, and all of a sudden he won at Nazareth, and now he has that momentum. He went to Charlotte, led the race quite a bit. Here today, he's on a dominant car all day.
It's chemistry, buddy. You take a driver that has good talent, put him on a team, and they didn't get along with the crew chief, they won't win. You put him on a team and they get along good. I mean, you think about Birdie and Randy LaJoie. I mean, they're almost cut from the same mold. They talk alike. They can communicate. And I think that has a whole lot to do with it.
That's the front two right there. Bobby Labonte has dropped off the lead lap, a flat right front tire. There is the battle that we've been watching, the 10 being the car of Phil Parsons.
That's Hermie Sadler.
Hermie Sadler right ahead of him. That's 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th position with Dale Jarrett and Jeff Green also in the middle of it all. 26 laps to go. Next week, South Boston, Virginia for these NASCAR Busch Series cars. As a matter of fact, 5 of the next 6 Busch Series races will be right here on TNN Motorsports. I hope you can make your plans to follow this tour here in the early part of the summer right here on TNN.
Also, a great truck series will be on TNN next week also.
Right, we'll be out at Heartland Park in Topeka, Kansas.
Yay, Heartland Park, Topeka.
You'll be there, DW.
I'm going to be there in my die-hard Chevrolet. It's brand new and it's pretty.
Now, that's not the truck that Bill Sedgwick normally drives. You're bringing a second truck.
Yeah, we're bringing a truck of my own, and it's painted different. Bill'll still be in the die-hard Chevy, too, but I got a new one. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Boy, look at this scramble, Eli.
Yeah, around Hermie Sadler. He'll go from 6th all the way back to 9th. So put Dale Jarrett back up in the head of that particular pack to 32. But they're also running a goodly distance behind the leaders. The front two have gone by. We've got the intervals for you. From the front two back to Phil Parsons and Dale Jarrett, now 5.5 seconds.
You see Randy LaJoie taking a look on the inside as they come out of turn 2. Now as they start into turn 3, you see Randy LaJoie is able to stay about a half a car length lower through this corner than the leader, Ricky Craven.
Yeah, he's a little quicker through the center of the turn. Ricky's pulling him off the turn just a little bit, but Randy's definitely quicker through the center of the turn. That usually indicates the car just handling real well. That should pay off for him later on.
22 miles to go. We told you Bobby Labonte pitted before. He's down 2 laps down in 16th. Glenn, what did they find? Was the tire all the way down?
Well, it wasn't all the way down, Eli, but it was headed that way. He couldn't turn the car. You see right here it says cut. Well, it is. There's a little cut mark right there behind this mold mark. That's what did Bobby Labonte in. On Kenny Wallace's tire, we said the right front was down on it, but we weren't able to find anything wrong with the tire. It was still up. He had a lot of rubber on it. Looks like he just maybe didn't get it cleaned off properly before he went to the corner because it went straight up the racetrack. Bobby Labonte's tire definitely had a cut in it.
You know, Buckshot Jones is getting some great experience right now. He's a fairly young kid and inexperienced, but he is sitting there behind 2 real veterans and running right with them, and actually it's faster than they are.
You know, I'm watching Ricky Craven. I'm not sure he didn't just now starting to show his hand because he's actually moving away from LaJoie just a little bit. As I speak, he goes a little bit high. LaJoie closes right in on his back bumper.
Yeah, but Randy's got a good line in the middle of the corner, but I tell you, the way Ricky's running up and off the corner, he's getting off there a little quicker than Randy is.
Look at Dale Jarrett, though. He's doing everything right now. He's got this car in the wind. He just made a pass on Phil Parsons there. He's moving along quite well.
So Jeff Green is a lot better than he was earlier on in the middle of this corner.
That's 6th place that we're watching right there. At the same time, Randy Porter has taken his car to the garage area. He joins L.W. Miller, Dick Trickle, Tim Fedewood, Dennis Setzer, Kevin Simmons, Jason Keller, Hutch Strickland, and Mike McLaughlin in the garage.
You see the smoke there off somebody as they started through the corner there.
Doug Hepron, the 75 machine.
Well, we saw him have a great run here a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we did.
That's bad news there, though. They need to make sure they'll be looking for him.
LaJoie watching, and as a matter of fact, the black flag is out now for Doug Hepron. 17 miles to go. Let's go down to Glenn Jarrett. He's in Ricky Craven's pit as we watch LaJoy challenge him for the lead.
Eli, remember when you said earlier on in the race what a terrible, terrible May Ricky Craven had and everything went wrong. Today is June the 1st. He is wasting no time in putting the month of May behind him. If he can hang on and win this race, buddy, May is just a bad memory to him. Wants to put it out of his mind as soon as possible. What better way than to win this race first day of June?
Randy LaJoy he's going to make something happen here shortly.
I was just fixing to say his work isn't done yet.
No.
Doug Heffron has gone to the garage area as another retiree. The attrition list continuing to grow. Around Chuck Bound go the leaders. There's old Buckshot hanging right with him.
Yeah, he's having a good little. He's watching a great race.
See, Ricky.
That's what he's doing. He got a good seat.
Darrell, in turn 3 and 4, Ricky Craven is running just a little bit higher line than LaJoy. LaJoy loses a little bit in turn 1 and 2, as you see as they go through this corner. Now in the other corner, he's coming up on the left rear corner, as I said that. But down in 3 and 4, I think that LaJoy's car is quite a bit quicker than Craven. He's running a higher line.
If Randy could get by Ricky right now, he would run off and leave him.
Yeah, he'd check out.
But he just can't find the spot to get by without really taking a chance. And I really admire him for using the patience he's using right now. But I got to tell you, when it gets down to about 5-6 to go, we're going to see us one whale of an effort to get to the lead.
Number of lengthy cautions today has dropped the average speed all the way down to 94.066 miles an hour. The track record is 126 by Harry Gantz.
Boy, that's some great driving by Craven there. He saw that LaJoy was trying to make a move on the inside. He just pulled over just about 8 inches, just enough to hold him back.
Yeah, what Ricky's doing is opening the door, though. There's a crack there right now, but I tell you what, it's growing. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch me.
See him come down just a little bit just to take that line away.
That's all right for now, but I tell you, when it comes time to pay the money, I tighten up my seatbelt.
Here we go.
It'll be 10 to go next time by. 10 miles next time by. Oh, see a little debris on the front grille there of LaJoy's car.
Yeah, it's off the back of that 2 car. It's bumper skin.
I'm not sure Ricky Craven knows how close they come just a second ago. I thought there was a little bit of contact as they started out of the corner there. You could see the 2 car of Ricky Craven twitch just a little bit. I think Randy gave him a little wake-up notice there.
This is for the lead. If you're just joining us with 9 miles to go, Ricky Craven in the 2, Randy LaJoy in the 74. LaJoy hasn't led since lap 136.
I'm telling you what.
You're about to beat me to death. This guy's a nervous man in this booth. Here we go, guys.
Got him that time.
All of it.
Got him that time.
Well, he's working on it. He's got him going down into turn 3.
It's a done deal.
Couple of New Englanders. LaJoy from Norwalk, Connecticut gets by Newburgh, Maine's Ricky Craven at lap number 192.
I am impressed. I'm impressed with a number of things. I'm impressed with LaJoy's patience, Craven's awareness, and how good that 74 car is running. Those are impressive.
The big thing was on this tighter racetrack is there was no contact. That was a good, clean pass.
You've got 3rd place, 4th place, and 5th place right there on the screen. Terry Labonte, David Green. Mike Wallace will tuck down now into the picture as well. There he is in the teal and black colors. There you've got 7th place, Jeff Green in the 3. Bill Parsons in the 10 right behind him, then Dale Jarrett as well.
Folks, I just want you to know one thing. What you just saw with Randy LaJoy getting by Ricky Craven, that is just racing. That's pure art. Set a guy up, work him, get under him, never touched him. That's what racing is all about. And I tell you, Randy LaJoy has really matured as a race car driver. I sat up here a couple of years ago, and he made me, I couldn't even watch. He was scared of me. Today, that was a thing of beauty to watch him pull that off.
Jason Keller won't be around to finish. He's taken his car to the garage area. Here comes Craven now. He's not giving up, Randy. He's closed in on LaJoy again.
Well, Ricky's analyzing his car right now, and he told the guys, I think we've got a little too much rear-end gear ratio in. So he's already putting stuff in his notebook for the next time he goes back. They're turning about 8,200 RPMs, and Ricky said that's a few too many for me.
I was just watching just then. Randy LaJoie got a little bit loose coming out of the corner, and Ricky Craven closed about 2 car lengths on him, so it isn't over yet.
No, that's that adrenaline. He's gassing that thing up, saying, no, pull away now, get away from this guy. But he looks in the mirror, and he's still there, and he doesn't want that. He wants to get him a little gap so he can relax.
4 miles to go, no relaxing.
No, not here.
No relaxing here.
It's one less thing to worry about. Let's put it that way. I'd like not to have that guy in my rearview mirror.
He's not shaking him, Darrell. Look at that. Everybody cheering him on.
Well,
team. It's a good team. Steve Bird, we've talked about it today a number of times. He just can take good drivers, make them better drivers, make them great drivers. He's done it with the late Rob Barroso. He's done it with a host of others, Johnny Benson.
And you got to understand something. Ricky Cravens will give him a great deal of courtesy and respect because Randy is running for the Busch Series championship. Ricky's a visitor. He comes in here every now and then. He's been in that position. Right. So I think that's another thing, too. Ricky is really being courteous to Randy right now.
Come on, man. He's running hard as he can. There's no courtesy with 10 laps to go. You know that.
Well, here they come to the white flag now. It'll be 1 lap to go. White is in the air from Carl Simmons. Front 2 battling for the lead. Randy LaJoie, who first won here in 1984 in NASCAR North Racing, then lapped the field the next year in 1985, heading back to Victory Lane in one of his favorite racetracks. It'll be the second win in the last 3 races. Randy LaJoie, the winner here at Dover Downs International Speedway. Ricky Craven with a strong second-place finish. It'll be Terry Labonte coming home 3rd ahead of David Green and Mike Wallace. That's your top 5. But a job well done for Randy LaJoie. And Darrell Waltrip, I know you've got to exit here very quickly. Let's talk quickly about your run tomorrow, because Chad Little will occupy your seat here tomorrow afternoon. What's your thought for the 500?
Well, our car is a lot better than it was when we qualified. We had to take a provisional. But I got to tell you, if I'm going to be starting this race, there's 42 cars in it. If I can't be on the front row, I'll just take the back row. That's fine with me, and I'll watch and see what happens. I think we can do real well from where we're starting.
Listen, take care. Thanks for joining us, Darrell. Good to see you. Darrell Waltrip here in the broadcast booth today, but that's the man who's got the best seat in the house. Randy LaJoie from Norwalk, Connecticut, joins us from Victory Lane in just a moment.
Race fans, enter the Pocono Raceway Promotion Engine Treatment Fantasy Sweepstakes and have a chance to win trips for 2 to the July 21st Miller 500 at Pocono, the August 3rd Brickyard 400, and the 1997 Daytona 500, plus $5,000 in cash. To enter the sweepstakes and receive free Promotion Engine Treatment literature, call toll-free 1-800-800-0987 or send your name, address, and phone number on a 3x5 piece of paper to this address. For a complete set of rules and a free Pocono Raceway ticket brochure, call 1-800-RACEWAY.
At Citgo, when you team up our super premium gasoline with our Super Guard motor oil, you'll get all the high performance and reliability you demand. So, prepare yourself to be totally blown away. Super premium performance. Citgo says go.
You can just pick up a Napa part and feel the quality. When you look at the price, it feels even better.
Pick up your share of quality products at Napa's Red, White, and Blue sale. With Autolite resistor spark plugs only 69 cents after rebate. An Evercraft 25-piece toolkit just $15.99. And STP products free after bonus rebates. So come, save some green at Napa's Red, White, and Blue sale.
Hi, I'm Payne Stewart. Everybody knows that I love to play golf. But when I'm at home, I love to work in my yard, too. And after all, who spends more time working on grass than I do?
The Grass Terminator replacement head uses a new concept, multi-edged line for smoother, cleaner cutting. And the Grass Terminator's unique recessed head protects the trimmer line from breaking.
The Grass Terminator. With a backyard like this, I need all the help I can get.
Available at finer home improvement centers and retailers worldwide.
Watch TNN's Big Country, and you could be a big winner in the TNN Big Country Sweepstakes. Win a 1996 Dodge Caravan and an all-expense-paid trip to the Fruit of the Loom All-Star Country Fest 96 in Atlanta. Watch TNN weeknights from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern for the Big Country Clue. Include the clue with your name, age, address, phone number on a postcard, and send it to It's a Big Country Sweepstakes, TNN Station, P.O. Box 3567, South Ferry, Connecticut. Win big in the TNN Big Country Sweepstakes.
Today's exclusive coverage of the GM Goodwrench Delco Battery 200 on TNN is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. At Napa, we keep America running. And by the Grass Terminator and Weed Terminator, the world's finest lawn care products.
Welcome back, everyone, from high above Dover Downs. The folks at Duraloo providing the aerial camera today. But down on terra firma in Victory Lane, big smiles and a big sip of Gatorade for Randy LaJoie. Let's check in with the winner here today at Dover Downs.
Wow, you can't believe how excited this crew is. Randy LaJoie, his 5th straight top 6 finish. High fives from everybody. Randy LaJoie, 2 wins the last 3 races. This team is tough. You did a great job in that car today.
I just drove a great race car, you know, Base Motorsports, and FINA gave us a great product. Boy, I tell you what, everybody's worried about the tires, but Goodyear tires were great. The longer we run, the better we got. You know, everybody just does a great job on this race team, and I'm just glad to be part of it. I'd like to say hello to my 2 boys back home, Corey and Casey. You know, they're a big part of this too, but, you know, my family, all my friends, this crew, you know, I can't say enough. Goodyear tires, K-Tech engines, FINA distributors, thank you guys. You know, we're finally coming together for FINA. I mean, they've been in this sport for 2-3 years now, and we're finally coming together for them. They got some good luck. I've had some good luck. You know, this team deserved it, and boy, I know I sure do deserve it, and what a great day.
Randy, you exercise incredible patience there. Talk about the pass to grab the lead when Ricky Craven had you beat there for a while.
I tell you, Ricky was wrong. He was really good. You know, he had the preferred line. I knew I was a little better than him. My car was a little tight when I was behind him, a little aerodynamic tight, but I knew if I get in front of him, I was okay, but I just didn't know where I was going to pass him. He gave me a little room down there, and I took it. You know, me and Ricky haven't raced like that in a long time, but we raced back here at Dover probably 10, 12 years ago like that, and hey, we won back then, and we won again this week.
Randy, the maturity of this team, it's a championship caliber team. They've been there before. I understand you didn't really change much on this car the whole weekend.
No, the same car we run in Charlotte. We changed 2 front springs, Naval springs and a K-Tech engine. I just can't say enough. Boy, this is wonderful. We're geared up. We're going to South Boston and a couple other racetracks. I'm pumped up. This is the old Randy LaJoie from 10 years ago. I'm having a great time.
And he now stands only 87 points down in the chase for the 1996 Busch Series crown. Randy LaJoie, the winner here today in Dover.
So he'll pick up 20 points today with the win, and the win was the 7th for Chevrolet here in the 1996 NASCAR Busch Series. We're coming back with a look at the rundown for you from the GM Goodwrench Delco Battery 200.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane,
Frank, we're late.
Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving. For smooth starts and sure acceleration, just give us 5 tanks, and we think you'll see a difference. A word of advice, though. Maybe you'd better leave the windows rolled up.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
In the Stanley Laboratories, we find out just how good our decorative mirror doors are by opening and closing them over 100,000 times. Funny, isn't that the same way you do it? Decorative mirror doors from Stanley.
Too much acid in your pipes? Better call RainSoft.
You know, a lot of people who work on their cars will only shop at AutoZone. They depend on us for the best quality parts and low prices every day. They come in, get what they need, and then get back to work. Because you see, they believe if you want the job done right, you do it yourself. Well, at AutoZone, we couldn't agree more. Because when you take the time and the effort to work on your car yourself, you ought to be choosy about where you shop. We just thank you for choosing AutoZone.
I'm
I'm the king grill.
Oh, yeah?
Baby, you know who's boss. Give me a 2-inch thick T-bone with spicy, hanging, Heinz 57 steak sauce.
Yeah, you're cooking now.
Let's eat.
A tough case of athlete's foot can stop you in your tracks. You get that itching, the cracking, the burning. That's when you want a medicine that acts tough. Boom! Tough Actin Tenactin. It cures even tough cases of athlete's foot. Get Tough Actin Tenactin.
Today's exclusive coverage of the GM Goodwrench Delco Battery 200 on TNN has been brought to you by Texaco Clean System 3 Gasolines. Add more life to your car. Take it to the stars. By Stanley. Since 1843, Stanley has been helping people do things right. And by Rain Soft Water Treatment Equipment. Quality water for you and your family that's dependable by nature.
Well, let's take a look at the full rundown for you. Chevrolet sweeping the top 4 spots at an average speed of 96.344 miles an hour. And the first 2 Fords, Mike Wallace and Glenn Jarrett. There you see where Jeff Green finally checked in. Hermie Sadler, who'll be running here tomorrow, comes home in the 10th spot. Further back, some teams that had some tough going throughout the day, but managed to salvage decent runs. Kenny Wallace came home 13th. Poor old Bobby Labonte with an unscheduled stop, finishing in 15th spot. Todd Bodine, who was running up in 6th, settles for 18th place today. Buckshot Jones, 5 laps down, but ran with the leaders all afternoon. Then a number of the teams that ended up in the garage area or out there limping around because of accidents. Jason Keller finally parking it just a handful of laps before the finish. And there you see Hutch Strickland. He was had that knee wrapped up after a trip to the infield care center. Dennis Setzer, who was involved in the big accident on the back straightaway. Dick Trickle, first out with engine failure today. And, of course, L.W. Miller, the first retiree with the accident on lap number 14. Again, the average speed of 96.344 miles an hour. Glenn Jarrett has caught up with our 4th place finisher, David Green.
And, boy, Eli, I'm not tired because you gave me credit for 6th place finish there, and I had to do that and then run down here and interview David. David, pretty good run today. The car looked real strong early on, but the track conditions evidently changed.
So you're the one that ran me up the racetrack. No, we started out, the car was good. The Caterpillar Chevrolet was pretty good. And we, on that long run, you know, we got a little too loose, and it hurt the right rear tire. Then on our first stop, we made adjustment. The car was really good then. But, you know, that top 5, top 6 bunch was tough. So had some tough company around there. But the car was pretty good. And we just didn't have enough for that little short run. We needed like 40, 50, 60 laps. So, but, you know, the guys did a good job in the pits. The car, K-Tech, the engine held up good. And tires done good on a treacherous racetrack. So we're pretty happy.
Still got an 87-point lead, but you told me it's a little too early to worry about that.
Oh, yeah. I've heard all about those points. I'm tired of that. But, you know, it's way, way too early. And, you know, Randy's had some good races. We've had good races. I mean, we've basically beat him on more times than he's beat us. But he's got a couple victories now. And we've got 2 or 3 seconds. So, but we'll keep digging.
Congratulations to David Green on a fine run. Let's go back up top to Eli.
All right, Glenn, thank you. Top 5 stayed the same in the point standing. So there you see the numbers. Nobody switching positions. Big gainer today, Larry Pearson. He picked up a couple of spots overall with a 9th place run here this afternoon. So there you have the top 5. David Green still showing the way in the NASCAR Busch Series standings. Don't forget, coming up right after we leave you, Motor Trend Television, followed by Shade Tree Mechanics. Stay with us. That's coming up next here on TNN. Tomorrow we'll all be together with Chad Little, who joins us, 12 noon Eastern Time. Tune in for the Miller 500 NASCAR Winston Cup teams. Front row, Jeff Gordon and Dick Trickle. Bit of an age spread there. Should be interesting to talk about tomorrow. And speaking of Dick Trickle, he's coming up this evening at 6 o'clock with Dave Marcus, joining you to take your phone calls on Race Talk. That is this evening at 6 o'clock Eastern Time from here in Dover, Delaware. And we mentioned during our telecast what's coming up next week. We'll be in Topeka, Kansas. NASCAR Slim Jim All-Pro Series, the Southwest Tour and the Northwest Tour, plus the NASCAR Craftsman Trucks. That is next weekend. So, too, these same NASCAR Busch Series teams from South Boston, Virginia. So that's all coming up next weekend. But hope you can join us again tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern Time for the Miller 500. Want to thank Darrell Waltrip, Buddy Baker, Glenn Jarrett, Randy Pemberton. A fine job this afternoon. And, folks, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Eli Gold. We'll see you tonight at 6 on Race Talk and tomorrow at noon with the Miller 500 here in Dover, Delaware.
Bye.